All of you online? Am I streaming fine? Have you all got the copy of your articles? Hi Mani, Khushi, Pooja, Ganesh, Ibrahim Saeed. We have shared the link where you can download the copies. All the students who are on the YouTube, you can download it from the link on the chat, scroll up and see, or you can download it from the resource section of Edukemy website. You have the current affairs reading session, usme you can download it from there, take a printout. Can you all confirm? Nellore, Somadeep Sinha, Shivani Chaudhary, Adhish, can you all confirm? Got it? Very nice, excellent. Okay, very nice. And those on the dashboard, can you also confirm if you have got the prints for yourself? Yes, Pooja, Ibrahim, Khushi, Mani. Okay. So we can start off now. Excellent, very nice. Done, done. Acha. So, can you give me a idea about is this exercise helping most of you, or do you find it beyond your domain of comfort zone? Are you all okay with the process? You want me to add something? So current affairs readings have two purposes, like I said. One is, of course, we must keep track of current affairs, what's happening around us, which includes environment, which includes discussions on IR, discussions related to economy, social issues. उसके अलावा some bit of essays type का learning भी important है. Okay, so while we diversify out into more articles, as of now I am focusing थोड़ा essays type का भी हम coverage कराएं. Yes, Anamika, okay, Bhuvaneshwari, Anamika, Archie, Jain, Saumya, Deep, Shivani. So do you have any suggestions for me, any feedback for me? You want me to change something? You want me to focus on something different? Anything that you think I should know and maybe incorporate that? Anybody? Yeah, I get that. I get that. Abstract art discussions are helping you? Nice. Okay. Okay, so it's a mix, but yes, I do discuss more of abstract topics. You're right. Chalo, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Mission Lavasna, I'm happy to see you again. Good afternoon. What's your name? Mission Lavasna. I do see you often in the sessions. Okay. Acha, theek hai, okay. But it is not a, I hope these sessions are not too burdensome. We don't want you to be burdened by too much of work. Your first class? Okay, Bhuvaneshwari, Saira, Banu, Sheikh. Wow, that's a interesting combination of names. I'm happy to have you in class. Good afternoon, Shraddha Prajapati. Good afternoon. Okay, fine. ठीक है. As and when you have anything to suggest, you let me know. ठीक है. So let's get started then. Summary of these. Acha, Ashish, I have done this earlier. I'll try something. It solved your problem, Sachrit? Okay. So today we have two articles that I will take up. We have more articles for that matter. We have an article on social issue. We have an article on economy, middle income trap. We have two essay type of articles. One is on issues of competition and sustainability also. The economy and abstract का mix है. Okay. I will take up the abstract topic. Okay. So if you all can open up this one. Why boundaries are essential for freedom. Can you all see this now? Let me. Yeah, so I'm set now. Okay, Sachrit, I hear you. Okay, on. That's my try. I succeed sometimes, but not every time. Okay, we start off now. So, why boundaries are essential for true freedom. Now, see, this article I have taken to explain how some discussions are taken to depth. कैसे example दिया जाता है, how counter arguments are given, and how the flow is maintained. Do these two words make sense to you? That we need freedom. As a freedom, it requires boundaries. They're almost like two contradictory ideas. How can freedom, be part of a boundary? How freedom can talk about limits? How freedom can be contained in within some type of borders? They seem to be contradictory, but that's how the article says. The article says, if you have freedom without boundaries, you are in trouble. Actually, it's not the real boundary. Okay. So in this we learn how the depths of discussions are managed. Okay, how discussions force us to think deeper. Okay, let's go now. Let's start off. It says, the striving for personal space and freedom is a mark of a progressive society. As in freedom jo bhi hai, okay, it is a mark of a progressive society. Now see, in fact, I'll say this is one of the dilemmas we have. We talk about, remember, piracy rights, privacy rights and surveillance. एक dilemma है. Environment and development एक dilemma है. Okay. Laws that protect freedom, वो भी dilemma है. So एक type of dilemma कह रहा है. It's saying us that if you look at a society which is progressive, okay, the hallmark, the measure of progression is how much are we able to protect our space and our freedom. Ironically though, freedom thrives only within boundaries. The freedom thrives in boundaries. An autonomous culture might get chaotic with a lack of protocols to distinguish what is legitimate and what is not. So if you have a freedom, एक alternate word क्या है? Autonomous culture, where things are free to do whatever you want to do. Okay, so autonomous cultures may get chaotic, okay, with a lack of protocols. Okay, for example, Olympic Games can become mockery and dangerous without rules and regulations. Imagine how all potential of fun and enjoyment could be extinguished without meaningful descriptions of do's and don'ts. इस इस पैराग्राफ में can you realize one thing, that this paragraph has very, very effectively established the topic directly. That there is no talk about what is boundary, what is freedom. This is a very formula way of writing some essays sometimes. People start with defining terms. I say, karo koi baat nahi, it's not wrong here. But sometimes a good introduction is directly hit the topic. And how they hit the topic is by using alternate words. जैसे freedom को लिखा है striving for personal space. Okay. Freedom is autonomous culture. Freedom is fun and enjoyment. And boundaries is, okay, protocols. Boundaries is what's legitimate or not. Boundaries is rules and regulations. So many times students ask me how to use alternate words to write the same thing. एक बात और भी बताओ कि are you seeing any sense of repetition here? कि लग वही बार बार बोल रहा है और boring हो रहा है. Does it look repetitive here? Does it look mechanical boring here? See, if I say the same thing, there are two things that happen. One is, by saying the same thing, I will emphasize, or I can make it boring. यहाँ पे क्या लग रहा है? In this, what he's doing is, by using alternate words, the author is emphasizing. The author is trying to drive home the crux of what the topic is demanding. कह वही रहे हैं. Olympics should have rules, regulation. Life must have fun, but the life must also have rules, regulations. Okay. Life must have do's and don'ts. Okay. Autonomous culture is fine, but we need protocols. Okay. And freedom thrives with boundaries. An example of rephrasing based introduction. ये best example है. Example of rephrasing. जो topic है उसी को दोबारा in another set of words बोलो. Then Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore brings home this point. I have a violin string on my table. It is free to move in any direction it wishes. If I twist one end, it responds. It is free. But it is not free to sing. So I take it and fix it into my violin. I bind it. And then it is bound. It is free to sing for the first time. The nature of freedom is that it needs the confines to work best. Beautiful. This is an example, okay, how the topic is so beautifully brought out. People talk about, no, write the essay with paraphrasing, with anecdotes. Write essays with stories, or story आप मनगढ़ंत बना देते हो. But see, it makes reference to Tagore. It says, on the table there is a violin string, एक string है, string free है. But if I bind the string, then the freedom is used for singing songs. If I bind the string, then the string becomes valuable for some talent, valuable for something better. An example of, okay, an example that uses anecdote, a short write-up, anecdote, okay. However, it is fascinating to note how well one might use freedom to justify lawless actions. Albert Camus. Do you know who this man is? Albert Camus, पता है कौन है? His very famous book is The Stranger. And Albert Camus is a French novelist, and Albert Camus is a Nobel laureate. ये Nobel Prize भी जीते हुए हैं. And he has a philosophy, okay, called as absurdism. Okay. Nothing in life has meaning, he says. It's all absurd. Okay. And the story is about, okay, how a son is not really mourning his mother's death. Yes, correct, Adish, correct. So you must read up a bit more on Albert Camus, okay, a French, okay, philosopher and a writer. He says, it is fascinating to note how well one might use freedom to justify lawless actions. Albert Camus, okay, उसके किताब में एक scatter है called as Judge Penitent, presents a story of a judge who provides legal support to condemned criminals. He used considerable skill and expertise within the constraints of laws to set murderers free, and his motivation was also to rationalize his less than moral acts. Okay. Early in life, while walking across a bridge over the river Seine, he sensed a woman behind him about to take her life. Okay. The protagonist, okay, the judge himself, continued walking as nothing had happened, even though he had heard someone jump into the river. He responded with a numbness to that reality. He carefully avoided reading the newspaper the next few days, lest there be a report of his death, which might lead him to a sense of guilt. In the story, though, there is a conscience keeper, laughter that bothers him, and his act of cowardice and selfishness is called out. The judge Penitent is now on a mission to help fellow guilty people justify the guilt of cry and silence the laughter. Okay, देखो, a very nice way of discussing something through example. Essentially, he's saying, on one hand, we have freedom. Okay. On the other hand, and we can do whatever we want to. On the other hand, there are some ethics. Okay. So what happens is, many times, the ethics don't allow us the freedom. But sometimes we do wrong things. Okay. It's against our ethics, but then we find a rational explanations. For example, people are corrupt, they find a rational way of explaining it कि corruption is part of life, मैं नहीं करूंगा तो कोई और कर देगा. We are lying and we have a rational way of saying, oh, lying did not really kill anybody, it's perfectly fine. Okay. So we use lot of rationality, we use lot of logical explanation to justify the wrongs that we do. Logical way of justifying the freedom का misuse जो करते हैं. So the topic is that freedom requires boundaries. In our life, the boundaries are our ethics. Freedoms are sometimes random things we do. For example, he says that there was a judge. The story of Albert Camus, there is a judge called as Judge Penitent, who is having lot of legal skill, who is able to justify things very smartly, and is using his skill, okay, to help people come out of the guilt of a wrong thing. He uses his skill to help people come out of that feeling of unethical, okay, dissonance, okay. He uses his skill for that. And the reason why he does it is because the Judge Penitent once did not act ethically to save a girl who was going to die. Okay. And then that guilt was there in him. And that guilt always troubled him because there was a laughter inside him that mocked him. That kind of was sarcasm that troubled him. So to overcome his own guilt, he starts helping all others who have done wrong things. An example where the ethical boundary was crossed, okay, and people are now using their skills to do wrong things. Okay. So he says, okay, it's fascinating how one might use freedom to justify lawless actions. It's like, no, the man can say, I was entirely my choice. I was walking, it's my choice. I decided not to help the girl behind me. Okay. So he says that the protagonist continued walking through as nothing had happened, even though he had heard someone jump into the river. He responded with a numbness to that reality. He carefully avoided reading the newspaper. These are the logical acts that he does not read newspaper anymore. He becomes numb. Okay. And although he has a conscience keeper, the laughter that bothers him, okay, that calls out his act of cowardice. But what the judge does is now on a mission, because he himself has a guilt, is a mission to help guilty people justify the cry of guilt and silence the laughter. It says, interestingly, we sometimes seek freedom not to do the right thing. Very powerful idea. Why freedom must have boundaries? Because we seek freedom not to do the right things, but to do what our basal instincts drive us to. Every person has a basal hedonistic desire, a greed, a jealousy, sexual attractiveness. There is a basal a drive to satiate hunger, to satiate possessiveness. So when we seek freedom, many times we seek freedom to justify our basal instincts. We seek freedom to be law unto ourselves. हम ढूंढते हैं freedom so that we are not controlled, so that we are not challenged. So our freedom is to make ourselves more powerful, to make ourselves more autonomous, and challenge the consequences that might follow. But then clashes emerge among all entities in the group about who is right and who is not. So when there are people who are independent and trying to establish their independence, झगड़े तो होंगे उसमें. This existential conundrum raises the question, should minority voices be given more importance, or is it the majority that wins? Should intelligentsia in a society be given the lead in moral decision making, or should the common people decide? Is it the traditional or the woke? However, the debate cannot be settled as every camp fights for its moral laws. Very interesting. It says that every group tries to protect its own freedom, and it tries to justify its freedom based on what its perceived notions of morality are. So in this paragraph, the author is telling us that while we seek freedom, we actually do not seek freedom to do right things. We seek freedom to interpret things according to our advantage. We seek a freedom to interpret things according so that we can justify our own wrongs. We have our own moral definitions of what's right and wrong. And that is kind of an effort to justify that we are doing right things even if we actually are doing wrong things. So freedom का जो boundary है, sometimes the moral views are not actually the good boundaries. This shows that. अच्छा एक चीज याद रखो that see how does any common man justify wrong things? A common man justifies wrong things largely by using logic. And if the logics don't work, he kind of takes recourse to some spurious or some wrong morality issues and justifies it. I mean, कभी सोचा आप लोगों ने the kind of genocide we hear around us? See what's happening in Bangladesh. What started as a students' protest, you are seeing now it is degenerating into communal violence. It is degenerating into lawlessness, notoriety, loot going on. So how does a society explain that? How did the Germans justify the lawlessness or the immoral acts of Hitler? How do the Russians justify killing of innocents in Ukraine, and vice versa? How does Ukraine justify some killings of Russians? How does US justify the kind of mass weapons it sells to the entire world? Or recent times mein, how did the Hamas justify the immoral acts of violence against common Israelis? And how does Israel justify the bombings of innocent hospital schools in the Gaza Strip? The common way is we use logic. And the logic sometimes takes recourse of moral rights. The logic sometimes takes the recourse of moral ethics that we decide ourselves to justify what we are doing. That's what it's saying. It says, This shows a lacune in human experience that we could never logically arrive at a position of moral imperiousness simply because we're all finite and humans with limited vantage points. I don't know if you can understand the language here. What he's saying is that many a times we take a higher position. Many a times we take a higher position and higher exalted position using morality as an important say tool to justify ourselves. It's like, simple thing like, blasphemy. I'm okay killing somebody just because he did not believe in my God. Or think of genocides. It's perfectly fine to kill people because I've declared morally those people are immoral and they're evil. So what the artist is telling us, that agar dekha jaye, as human beings, we cannot take those kind of high moral positions. This word, that we cannot arrive at moral imperiousness. This word imperious ka matlab hota hai arrogance. That I am right, all others are wrong. Because, he says, because ultimately all humans are finite. All humans have limited vantage points. Taking a moral stance is almost like removing ourselves from the context of day-to-day life. Why have I condoned the act of rape? Because, morally, that woman was a non-believer. That woman did not belong to my caste. That woman was evil, destroying the society's peace. So fine, it's perfectly fine to have aggression and abuse her. That's how we justify things. And what the author says is that this type of moral arrogance, this type of moral high-handedness is wrong because humans have limits. That humans by nature are not infinite. Hamare boundaries hain. So if we are looking at development, freedom, those boundaries have to be acknowledged. Okay? It says, this shows that there is a lacune. Is paragraph se aa raha hai. Okay? That many times when we fight, we tend to justify violence on the basis of our moral views. When we fight as groups, we tend to justify the wrongs that we do on the basis of the kind of moral definitions we have for ourselves. Okay? It says here, that however, the debate cannot be settled as every camp fights for its own moral views. This shows the lacune in human experience that we cannot never logically arrive at a position of moral imperiousness simply because we are all finite humans. We are all limited vantage points. This moral puzzle then pushes us to look for transcendent, outside human experience to point to us a moral law that applies universally. So because we are limited, because we have limits, so what we do is we use morality to escape the limit. We use morality to talk and transcend our limits, which he says is wrong. In other words, natural law signals a supernatural reference point. So, natural laws बताता है कि आपका boundaries है. And we escape boundaries by talking about God, about talking about moral ethics, which he says is wrong. Ultimately, आपको boundaries के अंदर रहना है. Okay. Now, if you all can tell me, did you understand this article or not? Then I'll tell you how this article has been designed. So, पहले ये बताओ, ये टर्म समझ में आ रहा है? You all get the idea what is freedom and what is boundaries. Okay, now tell me, moral जो है, moral ethical issues जो होते हैं, the way we defined it, according to this article, are morals and ethical issues boundaries or not? Are they boundaries or not? Yes or no? According to this article, are moral, ethical issues boundaries or not? Partly yes and partly no. Moral and ethical boundaries that seek to justify a freedom for self gain. He says वो बाउंड्री को तोड़ने का कोशिश करती हैं. Now when we say, when we say that, that I have the sanctity of the God or my religion to justify that all other religion people can be killed. इसमें क्या किया हमने? Have I used morality as a boundary or morality to escape? What have I done? To escape, yes. Okay. So when I talk about or when I justify lot of good things, use logic to justify some bad things, then we are actually breaking the boundaries. Come back here. It says, watch here. In this paragraph, okay, what is the author telling us? Are ethical issues boundaries or they are escaping boundaries? इस पैराग्राफ में क्या किया है? Okay. The debate cannot be settled as every camp fights for its moral views. क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं यहां पर? In this case, okay, the moral views are escaping the boundaries. Very interesting article, no? So all our lives we have been told that morals and norms are rules that set boundaries. Morals are good and bad. But हम क्या देख रहे हैं? And I'm using morals to escape my boundaries. Okay, it says, no? We sometimes seek freedom not to do the right thing. Okay, but to do what our basal instincts drive us to. We seek freedom to be law unto ourselves. हम morality use करके अपने आप को law बना देते हैं. हम use करके ethical issues अपने आप को law बना देते हैं. Okay. For autonomous and then challenge the consequences that might follow. So we use ethical reasons to challenge the consequences of our freedom. Okay. And then the clashes emerge. Okay. The existential conundrum, there's a question. Who should be protected? Should minority voices be given more importance, or is it the majority should win? Should the intelligentsia in a society be given lead in moral decision making, or should the common people decide? Is it traditional or the woke? Okay. However, the debate cannot be settled as every camp fights for its moral views. Okay. It says this shows a lacuna in human experience that we would never logically arrive at a position of moral imperiousness. If we actually look at sense, common sense and wisdom dekhoge, okay, you cannot arrive at the position of moral arrogance, because man by nature is limited. Man by nature has boundaries because all are finite humans with a limited vantage point. This moral puzzle then pushes us look for the transcendent. So what we do is we use morality or we use these ethical issues to cross our boundaries and become transcendent, outside human experience, to a point, to point us to a moral law that applies universally. In other words, natural law signals a supernatural reference point. So if we actually look at the good and the bad, we must look at how the nature operates. Yes, Satendra, but one step beyond that. Every person have their moral values, but the moral values rarely are the proper boundaries. The moral values rarely are the actual boundaries. The moral values are used to escape. But there are certain universal things that we have to go for. They become the boundaries. The universal aspect of love all. The universal aspect of respect all. Universal aspect of don't kill others wantonly. So it's like this. If I go back to our discussion here, see what is the author doing? Okay. It says, number one, it says that boundaries are important. Without boundaries, there will be chaos. Without protocols, without rules, there will be anarchy. Okay. This is established. Number two, टैगोर का एग्जाम्पल है that the string itself is free, but it is useless. When the string is bound, then it is free to sing a song. Beautiful way of writing something. कि strings अपने आप में useless है. When you bind the string, okay, when you tighten the string to a violin, then it starts the freedom, okay, to singing, towards singing. Then he talks about how people can misuse freedom and use logic, okay, to justify a wrong behavior. Okay, people use the freedom to interpret according to what suits them, and that is actually against conscience. This he says on the basis of the book of Albert Camus. How people misuse freedom. They misuse the use of logic to justify wrong behaviors. So how this Judge Petinent used all his skills, his wisdom to argue and free, okay, because he himself was guilty. Then he said, okay, that people use group moralities to justify wrongs and to justify misuse of freedom. People use ethical arguments to demand a freedom, to justify a selfish basal instincts. इसका बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल है how we use religion, how we use racial superiority to justify genocide. So actually क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग? Okay, we try to escape the boundaries of conscience. We try to escape the boundaries of universal ethics. and misuse freedom. These kind of passages can be given in your CSAT paper. Yes, you're right, Sachrit. पर समझा रहे हैं कि कौन सा वाला boundary? Freedom requires boundary. But which boundary is that? The boundary is not the ethical justifications which are to justify your own wrongs. The boundaries are not moral viewpoints which are parochial and which justify your basal instincts. उस type के boundaries की बात नहीं कर रहा है. So the author is trying to justify, okay, he's trying to justify that the actual boundaries are universal, are of universal value. The actual boundaries are those which are not, okay, contradicted between camps. So when my ethics becomes, okay, superior than your ethics, फिर वो boundary रहा नहीं, वो हमने boundary escape किया. Actual boundaries are the universal laws that nature tells us. Respect all, okay, preserve, don't be greedy. Okay, those type of laws are better than the laws that we define. So ultimately, freedom requires boundaries. The essay tells us about what are the actual types of boundaries, not the selectively justified ethical boundaries that we have. You've heard about, no, people in religious groups performing acts of violence. It's typically called as, okay, the group acts in mobs, in crowds. Okay, we actually become mad. Yes, correct, correct. Yes, Achrit. अब article समझ में आया आपको, all of you? So you sit back in your room and read the article once or twice. Personally, this is an amazing idea. कि देखो कैसे morality, और इसको ethics में use करना, ethics paper में, कि how morality sometimes are used for justifying wrong things. How ethics, morality, yes, absolutely, Kehan, very nice. Moral policing is one example of that. Okay, vigilantism is another example of that. Mob lynching, another example of that. So we are using, yes, correct. It's very unfortunate. Okay, the communal killings that we are seeing in Bangladesh, how unfortunate. It's completely mob mentality. It's genocide now, if it happens beyond a point. Okay, that's why now you can appreciate this, that the debate cannot be settled as every camp fights for its moral views. Okay, we seek freedom not to do the right things, but to do what our basal instincts drive us. Okay, we seek freedom to be law unto ourselves, autonomous, and then challenge the consequence that might follow it. How do we challenge it? We challenge it using very subjective interpretations of ethics and morality. It says that therefore, this moral puzzle, so this puzzle ka solution kya hai? Solution is that we must look for transcending these boundaries outside human experience and then looking at moral laws that apply universally. Ye hamara boundary hai. The actual boundary is the moral laws that applies universally. Yes, correct, Satyendra, I agree. Okay, you know, I am guilty there. ये जो चल रहा है, this lawlessness or whatever, safety concerns, coaching institutes, measures, you know, one part of me justifying, यार, सोसाइटी खराब है, हम कैसे बिजनेस करेंगे, कोई तो लॉ मानता नहीं है, तो मैं भी चलाता हूं इंस्टीट्यूट. I also an institute, even if I know my halls don't have safety precautions. So I have justified, I have used some ethically reasoning to justify my act which is actually wrong. Isn't it? Haven't we done that? I'm guilty of that, definitely. So yes, we use ethical reasons. We use logical reasoning to justify our wrongs as long as it benefits, okay, our, okay, say view of points. Use this in your ethics paper. बहुत powerful article है. Ethics में use करना है इसको. So the actual answer lies in the universal laws. The actual answer, in other words, natural law signals a supernatural reference point. Look at nature around you. That should be the boundaries that you must respect. Satyendra, morality में ना और true ethics में there is no middle path. Unfortunately, that's the truth. The true middle path is actually no middle path. You got to make a choice, okay, and you got to do it. So, Satyendra, I have no answer here. Like I said, no, even I am guilty of selectively interpreting what suits me. I am guilty of selectively justifying my acts according to what suits me. This is an article that forcing me to think on कि हम करते कैसे हैं. अलग-अलग स्केल में अलग-अलग लोग करते हैं ये चीज. Is the article forcing you to think or not? The biggest thinking takeaway for me is, okay, that morality is not always the actual boundary. Ethics, the way we define it, is actually not the proper boundary. Yes, Kehon, correct. Fine. So all of you, okay, I do not know if you are able to think on the lines or not. ठीक है. It'll take up some time, but धीरे-धीरे समझ में आएगा. Can I move on now? So, write in your own notebook, लिखो कहीं पर. Yes, correct, correct, correct. Universal values matter more than subjective interpretations of morality and ethics. Very right, Sachit. And the universal values are our true boundaries. The universal do's and don'ts are our true protocols, not defined by culture that has selective interpretation of what's right, what is wrong. So, अपने notes में लिख डालो ये वाला point. Okay, write down this point here in your, and mention this. This is to be used in your ethics paper. Okay, that, so 3-4 points. Number one is, okay, true freedom always comes with boundaries. True freedom always comes with boundaries. True happiness, true enjoyment comes with protocols, rules, do's and don'ts. True happiness, true enjoyment comes with protocols, with do's and don'ts. Next, people use logic. People use selective interpretations to escape the boundaries. People use selective interpretations and selective ethics to escape boundaries. सत्यम वो नेक्स्ट स्टेप है. कैसे करेंगे वो अलग बात है, पर समझ तो लो कि ये एक इशू है. How to do this comes much later. The article does not give us any solutions. The article only tells us it is an issue worth considering. कैसे करना है वो बाद में. ठीक है. The third point लिखो. Third point. Many times we seek freedom to justify wrong things. Many times we seek freedom to justify wrong acts and to overcome guilt. To overcome guilt. Next, selective ethical interpretations. Selective ethical interpretations actually disregard boundaries. They help us escape boundaries. They disregard boundaries, they help us escape boundaries. The true boundaries are those which have universal significance. True boundaries are those which have universal acceptance. Freedom needs boundaries, and what are the proper boundaries? Yes, Sachin, something on those lines. Did you all understand the write-up now? Did you all understand our write-up now? Ganesh says yes, Mani says yes, others are quiet. Debarga samajh mein aaya, Satyam samajh mein aaya, okay. Anushka, Avasthi, Pooja, Ibrahim, fine, theek hai. See, these are not regular type of articles, but these articles are what will help you expand your thinking and your perspectives. और ये आर्टिकल अदरवाइज आप नहीं पढ़ने वाले. मिशन लबासना, सतेंद्र, सचिन, यस गणेश. अब इसी का जो समझ है ना वो अप्लाई करना, जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है उसको अप्लाई करना इन योर राइटअप्स, इन योर आंसर्स, इन योर डिस्कशंस, वो अप्लाई करना. गुड. Okay, let's move on. Now another article I've taken is ये वाला, Olympics. Okay, the wins, losses and longing in the Olympic season. It's a very nice write-up on, okay, what expectations are, how we conduct ourselves in the face of success and defeat, how condescending we are to people who fail, okay, how insulting we are, okay, when we demand people to do things, okay, and they can't meet it, okay, how ruthless we are in dismissing them. That's one idea. Second idea, I like the narration of the article. एक सिंपल थिंग को कैसे समझा के लिखता है. A very simple thing, like, you know, think of Vinesh Fogart. Okay, fact is, she got a call for the finals. Okay, she was overweight by 100 grams. She got disqualified. India lost a medal. Okay, simple. But how this article will write it like a description is almost like a poetry. The way it's written. Okay, so look how language is used to describe some otherwise, okay, not so dramatic looking events. Okay, let's start off. पहला set हार गया, अब क्या होगा? Okay, so you can write an essay with in Hindi or other language, italics, but within bracket explain what is it. He lost the first set, he won't win now. 28 years ago, my father, sitting in front of our Western black and white TV, gave up hope. A tennis player from Kolkata, playing with a broken wrist in the Stone Mountain Center, was struggling. He had lost the first set. Watching a high-emotion sporting encounter with a strict dad was akin to walking the tightrope for a 90s kid. The outcome of the match dictated the subsequent harmony in the house. Giving up hope was the national hobby then. We had given it up a few months earlier at Eden Gardens when a teary-eyed Vinod calmly walked back from the pavilion. This is a few weeks before the tennis match, when a new elected government fell within 13 days, calling for another costly election. Clearly, hope supply chain was a bit broken. I love the description. Okay, when the write-up is trying to create that humor, okay, plus a nice discussion on how we as a nation have a history of losing hope. Okay, I do not know if you know this match or not. It was India-Sri Lanka, okay, semi-finals at Eden Gardens. I think Azharuddin was the captain, and Sri Lanka was bowling, okay, and the ball was spinning crazy. The kind of wickets which were lost. And one big reason was because on the Eden Gardens pitch, they had a dramatic ceremony that destroyed the pitch. And Vinod calmly, we lost the match, and Vinod calmly came back crying. And the ball was spinning viciously. If you know this man, Jayasurya, he was one of those spinning wizards. Okay, he was otherwise a batsman, but he was spinning. So was Murli, okay, Muralidharan, the good batsmen. And India was looking to win the World Cup, but India lost it. So that was Vinod calmly. Plus, okay, Vajpayee government had fallen in 13 days. It says very nice. It says, okay, so he is recalling this match talking about is Olympics mein Leander Paes was playing. And Leander Paes won the bronze medal for India, but he had lost the first set. Okay, and his wrist was also fractured. Broken wrist ke saath mein was playing. Yes, current head coach. Okay, Sanat Jayasurya, correct. Okay, so he's recalling that. How his father I mean, I know Bengalis are very passionate about games, footballs, very passionate about sports and music. So the writer talks about how black and white television days the, and they're watching a match where Leander Paes has lost the first set. The father said, "Ab to ye har gaya," and how he's telling कि आगे चल के घर में problem होने वाला है. Okay, he says, okay, watching a high emotion sporting encounter with a strict dad was akin to walking a tightrope. Okay, the outcome of the match dictated the subsequent harmony in the house. Giving up hope was national hobby then, and we had given up earlier in the Eden Gardens when calmly walked back. Okay, and we had given up when the Vajpayee government had fallen, and clearly says hope supply chain was a bit broken. Yeah, so I hope you can understand how descriptions, okay, type of writings are. Then miraculously, our player broke his much higher ranked opponent's serve and won the second set. We were now a step closer to winning the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Tennis bronze match. Okay, Leander Paes, the son of an Olympics bronze medalist, shouldered on. It was a blur, he says today, but it must have been a blur that helped, as overthinking and choking in the finals is another national hobby. The author says, losing was part of our history. Okay, finals mein bahut baar har jate hain. It's nice, he says, he was blurred. No wonder our social science books have chapters on athletes who ended up fourth at the Olympics. I mean, no disrespect. They were the products of their impoverished times. But this time we won a 100th year special Olympic medallion, an individual medal. My father, I mean, when he had won the tennis bronze match, bronze medal, this is the first time India won an individual medal. इसके पहले तो we had won, of course, एक बहुत पहले एक जीता था, हमने wrestling में जीता था, but nothing really significant then because it was pre-independence. Otherwise, India had a history of winning the cup in hockey. Okay, he says, my father had never seen an individual Olympic medal in his lifetime. It took 44 years for the nation to see an Olympic medal gleaming around the neck of a sportsman who wasn't holding a hockey stick. Okay, the nation was delirious. Our bronze, our bronze age had begun. Nice writing, no? See, this writing has humor. This writing has sarcasm ke saath mein driving home some point. This is the right skill of writing. So, I mean, I could think of writing an article on this. Look at even today's medal tally. Okay, 6 mein se 1 silver, 5 of them are bronze medal. So, it's like India's bronze age. But my take here is, if we are in the bronze age, can our iron revolution be far behind? Okay, can sophisticated alloys be far behind? Yeah, so very nice way of writing, no? A humor ke saath mein sarcasm bhi hai. India's bronze age has begun. A pace wind taught us how it felt to win an Olympic medal. An entire generation busy with their inter-colony sports such as cricket, unaware of the joy of winning at a global event with more than 10 nations participating, suddenly wanted more. They had tasted blood. Leander Pace, okay. I mean, can you all see description kaisa hota hai? So when we read articles or when we read news, okay, the last thing in our mind is reading the article for the sake of understanding language. The last thing in our mind is reading an article for the sake of understanding the nuances of writing. But aapko seekhna chahiye. Okay, 4-5 humor I can see. Okay, the hope supply chain was bit broken. Okay, a strict dad was walking on a tightrope. How outcome of the match dictated harmony in the house. Okay, very interesting, no? Okay, good that he had blurred because I was overthinking choking in finals as another national hobby. Can you all see that wit, okay, and humor in his writing? Okay, the drought of medals was such that even today, when a player reaches an Olympic final, out of sheer post-traumatic stress syndrome, the headlines whispers, a defeatist, PV Sandhu has assured a silver headline. That, now we are so pained by losing, okay, that finally jab pahunch jate hain na, rather than telling that we are going to win a gold medal, our reading is, chalo, koi baat nahi, ek silver to mil hi jayega na. An example of a defeatist attitude. The drought of medals was such that even today, when a player reaches an Olympic final out of the sheer post-traumatic stress syndrome, the headlines whisper, a defeatist, PV Sindhu has assured a silver headline, instead of deeming it a battle for the gold. That said, the times are changing. Our national pride has outrun our per capita numbers. So we are far more richer in terms of hope and expectation than our per capita. Okay, so our national pride has outrun our per capita numbers. Now presidents of richer nations take selfies with our leader. We are called to their exclusive clubs. India's gross domestic product is growing fast. Okay, even beggars have QR codes. And writing that tells us that times are changing. Okay, our hope is bigger than our per capita income. That our leaders are not sought after in photo sessions. Okay, that even beggars have QR codes. The only inconvenience is our denominator. Okay, what's a per capita income? It is total income by total population. The population is our denominator. Okay, so इस सारे hopeful में हमारा population जो है, this is the scary part. Okay, the only convenience is our denominator. Black pillars tell you how some countries with population of Dadar station at rush hour have more gold medals than us. Actually interesting, no? I've always wondered this about New Zealand, a country, okay, that has hardly any population. But look at the cricketing talent that they have. Year after year, okay, they have incredible talent. Look at countries like Kenya or Ethiopia, the kind of runners they have. Look at Jamaica. Okay, abhi, Norway, or even the final we played yesterday, okay, where Sherawat was wrestling, okay, a player from Puerto Rico. Okay, Ukraine, yes, absolutely. Ukraine, that women wrestler, yes, correct. It's surprising, no? Countries with such less population and they have quite a good tally of medal wins. So India with 1.44 billion is struggling with 4, 5, 6 medals, and most of them are bronze. So ठीक है, let's see what he writes. He says that black pillars tell you how some countries with population of Dadar station at rush hour have more gold medals than us. A single digit tally isn't good enough. Basically telling us our expectations have been rising. Okay. Not befitting a quad member. Deepika Kumari, an archery world champion, is criticized for not winning a medal. In a nation of mythological archers such as Arjuna and Eklavya, how could we not win at archery? The internet jokes. Do you see one thing? The writer is actually using sarcasm. Okay, he's using sarcasm here. Okay, he is not criticizing the players, he's criticizing us. कि हमारे hopes इतने ज़्यादा हैं, okay, sometimes is unjustified. Okay, at the same time, look at the country that we are, okay, and look at our condition in sports. So learn, at least see what a sarcasm and wit is in writing. Okay, for many decades, such stuff was blasphemous. Now such jokes are fine. Winning hearts is not enough. Now these athletes are an objects of our sympathy or a guilt trip of a cricket-obsessed nation. No longer do stories of resource-starved athletes sleeping in railway station wagons during sporting trials and swimming crocodile rivers to reach school move us. That time is over. Now we want the medals. We have become aggressive. अब वो हमें इंस्पिरेशन नहीं लगता कि लड़ाई क्या नहीं किया. Our medal tally should look like a 6-digit OTP and not an ATM pin. Okay. But with higher expectations come greater disappointments. As we grow old, we guard our emotions in a saving account rather than investing it around. We can't afford mental downtime. We can't afford mental downtime. With our commitments and responsibilities. Hence, mundane sport defeats might not rankle as much for a middle-aged person. After all, kids who saw unraveling the 120, now see, is comparing how times have changed. देखो, don't forget कि इसका नाम क्या था. Name of this article was Wins, Losses and Longing. It says the society has changed over times. A time when his father said, पहला सेट तो हार गया, अब क्या जीतेगा? A time when we came out of finals crying like Vinod Kamli. A time when we were okay and accepted a government can fall in 13 days. Okay. A time when we did not give hope to Leander Pace, but once Leander Pace won and the expectations were rising, uske baad, now we talk in another type of sense. Now we are critical of people who don't win anymore. Ab hame chahiye to chahiye. That's why he says, no? Okay, that our expectations is more than our per capita income. Now we feel angry. How come small countries are winning? When will our bronze age come to an end? Okay, we don't feel sorry for people who are struggling. Hame medal chahiye. We're very upset we don't win. Yeah, medal tally should be okay, a long OTP rather than an ATM pin. The transition from hopelessness to aspirational, correct, Satrit? Okay, and he says, this type of feeling is not with our old generation, because old generation lived with lot of losses. The old generation has lived with lot of defeats. तो हमारे जो अंकल हैं वो इतने दुखी नहीं होते, but we are always boiling with more and more experience. It says again, okay, with higher expectations comes greater disappointments. As we grow old, we guard our emotions in a saving account rather than investing it around. Andar daba kar emotions, okay? We can't afford mental downtime with the commitments and responsibilities. Hence, okay, a mundane sports defeat might not rankle much for a middle-aged person. Okay, as somebody who has seen defeats earlier, usko itna pareshan nahi karega. After all, the kids who saw the unraveling of 120 chase in Barbados, are you aware of this particular cricket match? India was playing West Indies and India needed 120 runs to win. And India got all out in, I think, 70s, the 80s में out हो गया था. तो ऐसा generation जो इस type का match देखा होगा, how can they be excited about or sad about losses? Okay. Again, it says the Kolkata 90 semi-finals. Okay. In Kolkata semi-finals में India lost. Okay, but Tendulkar had made 136 runs, and we lost by whisker. ऐसे 2-3 matches हुए हैं. I remember back in the 1990s, I think, there was a cricket draw in Chennai Stadium. India was playing Australia. Okay, or India needed only 1 run to win. And on the crease was one spinner called as Maninder Singh. And Maninder Singh out ho gaya. There was a bowler called as Greg Matthews. He was a very good spinner. They called him as Mad Matthews. He would keep on jumping and howling when he would take a wicket. India needed 1 run to win the test match. And Maninder Singh could not even win that. It's a big sad moment for us. Ki ek run bhi nahi le paya. So a generation which has seen defeats of that kind, a generation that has seen that kind of heartbreaks, that generation will not be rankled. Okay, this talks about the unraveling of 120 chase in Barbados, or the Kolkata semi-final, or Sachin Tendulkar in that Chennai test against Pakistan tha ye wala, who barely ate the dinner on those days, are adults now with dependents, more immune to such non-material damages. So wo log jo young the tab, now they have become older people. I still remember MS Dhoni hit that winning 6 in 11 World Cup. I ran out to 16th main BTM layout in Bengaluru, hugging absolute strangers and waving the flag. Did I do the same when India won T20 World Cup this year? Not really. Maybe when I have kids old enough, I will partake. Okay. For now, there's a brief lull. Such philosophical musings are reserved for cricket. The day an Olympic defeat has similar shelf life of public despair, the day when we can actually criticize an erring athlete freely, that's the day we show we actually care. Okay, now this is an important point. So in this article, what do you think the author is doing? Does he see the criticisms of athletes who are not winning? Does he see that as a good thing or a bad thing? ये बताओ आप. What is the author's interpretation? Criticizing not winning, getting angry at not winning, okay, having expectations of win. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What is the author's interpretation? Batao. Michelle Lavasna, he says bad thing. Khushi says bad thing. Ibrahim says both. Satish says good thing. Raising the bar high. Only when we come to know why they are now winning, we would not have felt bad for government. Okay, good thing if you really care genuinely. Bad things. इस article में it is a good thing. Bad नहीं है. He says, okay, the day an Olympic defeat has shelf life of public. कि हम दुखी होके भूल गए. Okay, he says when the shelf life of despair is small, when we can criticize an erring athlete freely, he says that's the day we show we actually care. Nothing shows we care more than actually being genuinely disappointed. And that's the day we should bid for hosting Olympics. Maybe that year our medals tally will look like an OTP, not an ATM number. Beautiful. When as a society we have collective anger, कि साला जीता कैसे नहीं? As society, we criticize the players कि जीत के आना चाहिए था. We'll take nothing less than a victory. And importantly, our anger is also short-lived. Shelf life. Don't get obsessed by it. Our grandparents or parents, इतना दुखी हो गए थे, they carried that despair all their life. For a life they had become hopeless. For a life they had given up, India kabhi jeetega. He says that's not right. Your anger should have a small self-life. Your celebrations must also have a short self-life. Plus the disappointment must be genuine. Then he says that we actually care. Okay, because अगर गुस्सा despair है और कम दिन के लिए है, means what? I'm willing to forgive. चलो यार दोबारा try करते हैं. बहुत गुस्सा आया. How did the world disqualify Vinesh Fogart? कि इतना भी अक्ल नहीं था, या बाल काट लेती, अपना 100 ग्राम कम हो जाता. Okay, I mean, many of us have told that, no? Okay, इतना गुस्सा आया. Then after 3-4 days, ठीक है, fine. She was trying. Rules होता है. Let's try again. So when our despair has a short shelf life, when our anger is genuine and collective, so then it is a time, okay, that we must bid for hockey, and then our medal tally will not look like an ATM number, it look like an OTP, 6-digit OTP. Yeah, Ganesh? I mean, see, I'm not saying she did or not. Okay, on. The idea is that gussa to aaya na hame. I remember, I think Ganesh, you in the class told me, okay, that Fogart was disqualified, correct? No, Khushi. At that level, the bars are very high. You can lose a gold medal by 100th of a second. वहां पर बहुत हाई बार होता है. किसी को एक माइक्रो इंच नहीं मिलेगा. आप बात कर रहे हो, या करेक्ट, गेमिंग. ये आर्टिकल समझ में आया ऑल ऑफ यू? 3 थिंग्स. एक तो थोड़ा सा विट ह्यूमर समझो. how to write witty write-ups, at least appreciate witty write-ups. Okay, then descriptions kitna interesting hai. So, and how much of examples used, but very innovatively used, not mechanically used. Yeah? So fine, these two articles are from my side. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the readings. Do make some jottings, okay? ऐसे articles पे jottings रख लेना. Very nice examples of essay writings. Positive criticism. Okay. Yes, genuine expectations. Grief ka short shelf lives. You must not have, okay, that infectious hopelessness. Yeah, writing is an art, beta. Okay, and if you do this for 6-7 months, kuch na kuch aap seekh loge. You all will learn how to write eventually. Okay? Okay, that's from my side. I'll send in now Banke sir. He will take up the other topics, other articles. Kushi, it's not as simple as 1 or 2 points. Hamara sports culture abhi bhi poor hai. Our sportsmen are not given too much of encouragement, and there's not much reward for sports also. Okay, जो gold medal जीतता है वही कुछ लेके आता है, otherwise others. Okay, so those ecosystems are changing. We started a drive called as Khelo India Khelo. Okay, that's an important step towards, okay, some type of sports attitudes. Yes, I saw the match yesterday. My son told me, Papa, साथ मिलके देखेंगे wrestling. It was nice. First 2 points ले लिया. Okay, his opponent from Puerto Rico. उसके बाद India dominated. Okay, the last 30 seconds, 1 minute में, okay, Sharawat was absolutely, okay, unbeatable. I loved the match yesterday, yes. And you must see that match of Vinesh Fogart also, how last 5 seconds में she won the game. The brilliant throw that she had, and the Japanese one, Shakura, she was stunned. She did not know what happened. And she had never lost her match ever. So very sad, Vinesh coming back. Okay, I think retirement announced kar diya, but she must reconsider. I think she still has, okay, some bit of sports in her. And of course, groin injury ke saath mein, okay, our Neeraj Chopra, okay, 89.48 meters. But that Pakistan guy Hamid was incredible. 92 meters was a killer throw. It was a killer throw. वो तो जीतना ही था उसको. But as in, if the groin was not as painful for Neeraj Chopra, he says he has another 4-5 meters to throw. 2-4 meter तो बढ़ा ही देगा वो. And he has been having niggling problems for quite some time now. Okay? Chalo, nice discussion. I was waiting. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed that discussion. So I leave the class for Banke sir now. Bye-bye. Chalo. Huh? Change it. Okay? You're on. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Devarg, Ganesh, Mani. Everybody, good afternoon. Okay. So, you have already seen 2 articles which Shabbirsir discussed. Okay, those are articles related to philosophical take on life, okay, and our attitude. Okay. Sachet, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Pooja, very good evening. ठीक है, we are in a time where some of you are wishing afternoon, some of you are wishing evening. Okay, it's a twilight time. Okay, we are a bit, one of our legs are there, some of our legs are here. Okay, let's start. So the first article we'll talk about is being single and happy. Okay, so being single and happy. It's interesting. Okay. Let me see whether you can see this. Let me adjust the article. Okay. Okay. दिख रहा है, being single and happy. Okay, that's the first article we are going to talk about. Any idea? Anybody want to guess that what this article is going to be about? Being single and happy, without reading the content of the article. Anybody would like to guess? इसमें है क्या, क्या होने वाला है? This article is going to deal with what topic? Okay, Ganesh is saying that this is about single parent. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, okay, let me try a paper. Okay, let me see, let me try. Okay, being about expectation, Sachit is saying. Okay, yes, thank you. Who said, who gave me this suggestion? Okay, Ibrahim, okay, thank you. That is good suggestion. Hopefully it will hold. That is my only concern. If this paper will hold, that's good. Okay. Self-love, okay, ठीक है. More ahead without being bucked by societal pressure. They were, yes, to extent, yes. Woman empowerment, Aditi. Yes, about women being happy, independent. Yes. Self-marriage in Gujarat. Okay, ठीक है. So yes, this article is about women and their marital choices in current times. Okay, so this the article is based on a study that nowadays many women are deciding not to get married. Okay, particularly those women who are becoming financially independent, they are deciding to opt out of this marriage market. And why is this? Okay, why women are opting out of it? Okay, is it good? Why it is not good? So the analysis is on that. Article of this sort will be useful for GS paper. कौन सा GS paper में directly useful होगा? Relationship KK is saying, okay, that's right. Okay, Ibrahim is saying GS paper 2. ठीक है, maybe in GS paper 2 also, maybe. Yes, I agree. Which part of GS paper 2? But it has more relevance with GS paper 1, right? GS paper 1, which part? You guys remember whole syllabus? Syllabus आप लोग को याद है? Society, yes. In society, women, issues related to women, ठीक है? Women and women related organizations, okay? Social issues and justice, right? ठीक है? So this will be on that. Okay, the changing status of women, the problems of working women, the financial independence of women and its impact. Okay, the changing idea of marriage. Okay, these things we will see that the article discusses. Okay, this article was published in The Hindu. Okay, this was by Mahima Vargesh in 2024. अभी 4 तारीख के article था, ठीक है? So let's see how the article progresses. Okay, social empowerment, such yes, right. Okay, so already UPSC have asked questions around this, and now we'll see. Okay, that how changing the status of women is impacting the Indian society. Okay, so let's see. Okay, तो आप सब लोग those of you who have hard copy ले लीजिए. Those of you who are watching on a screen, look on a screen. Okay, we are going to start. Okay, it's a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a life. This opening line from Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice remains one of the literature's finest first sentence. Set in 19th century Britain, Austen's character makes their way through the complexities of family, social status, and wealth in an effort to find their better half. Interestingly, a similar parallel could be drawn with present-day Kerala society, where it comes to matchmaking. One would wonder why. Okay? So the author starts with one epic line in the novel Pride and Prejudice, and it says that once men have everything the man desires, the men start seeking wife. Okay, it says that the similar thing is happening now in Kerala, and why it is happening, that is this. Okay, this also says, if you will see this, if you will see only this line, okay, without reading anything else, what does it say about what men thinks about women? If you see only this article, and if you read only this first line, it is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a life. What does it say? It appears to say that just like wealth, just like a lot of possessions, many men also sees women as another milestone or another jewel in their crown. ठीक है कि अब ये भी हो गया, घर भी हो गया, पैसे भी हो गए, अच्छा जॉब भी लग गया, अब now you need a wife. Yes, so yes, okay, Ganesh is saying that to make life complete, a man need his wife. Okay, that's one way of seeing things. Okay, that when you have everything, now you have one thing missing, and that is wife. Okay, another way to look at the same thing is, just like every other possessions, maybe many men see wife also as another milestone. Okay, so not like a companion, not like a partner in life, but like another achievement. Okay, so it says that in present day Kerala society, now again men have to struggle for wife, struggle for finding wife. Why it is so? Okay, a clinical psychologist's study based on the data collected from matrimonial bureaus and brokers says there is a visible drop in the number of women registering on matrimonial sites compared with that of the men. Okay? So this is the data on which this article is moving. Data ये बोल रहा है कि on many matrimonial sites in Kerala, okay, in lots of matrimonial sites in Kerala, it has been noticed that the number of women registering to find the groom is reducing. Why that can be the case? Anybody would like to take a guess that why many women are not going to matrimonial sites to find the groom? Why there is this drop in number of women? What can be the possible reasons? Just take a guess. Okay, you don't have to be very cautious that whether you are right or wrong. Okay, Khushi is okay because marriage no longer appeals to them. Okay, preferring a happy life. Okay, independence of women, higher education, jobs. Okay, so again the second question is taste of freedom. Okay, Bhuvneshwari Sheikh is saying taste of freedom. Okay, economic independence. So yes, you guys are all of you have good points to say. Okay, they fear tussle in life. Okay, now the question then comes is, if when woman becomes financially independent, when woman becomes educated, then they stop seeking marriage. If that is the case, we will see later on in this topic, in this write-up, that the author also asks a question that is it then right for the woman to get financially independent? If women are getting financially independent, it appears that the institution of marriage is under threat. Okay, so then can we say that it is good for women to get married? Okay, Madara is saying fear of marriage. Yes, you all have given good points. Okay, you all have valid points, because the thing is there cannot be a single answer. There got to be multiple answer. Okay, many people will see at the same decision from multiple angles. ठीक है, क्यों कर रहा है? Somebody may say fear of marriage. Somebody may say willingness to live more independent life. Okay, somebody may say willingness to pursue more intellectual jobs where nobody will interfere in their life. Okay, fear to meet unknown persons, such in. Okay, now let's see that how the article progresses. Okay, furthermore, a prominent difference in the ratio of men and women registering in these sites calls for thorough research on region and its future implication. Okay, one is the region. We talked about reason, why women are dropping out of marriage market, why they are not willing to participate there. That is one thing. And the second thing is what is the implication, how it will impact the society if marriage is a big institution. Matlab our society is almost based on marriage. Only when traditionally it is said that only when a children is born out of a legitimate marriage, the children becomes part of society. In that kind of society where marriage is almost like a building block of future family, in such a case, when many females are opting out of the marriage game, what it says about the future? Will future society sustain? Will there be a future society? Will there be kids? Or if there will be kids, will they be acceptable? Okay, will it lead to social crisis? Okay, that kind of things is asking. Okay, decreasing population, Bhuvneshwar is saying. Okay, let's again see. The media, okay, now the author says that the media saw an opportunity and was quick to jump to conclusion. They called it gamophobia, fear of marriage, or tocophobia, fear of pregnancy, passively suggesting that modern women are evading responsibility. Okay, it says that like many times, okay, media jumped on this report without doing due diligence, without researching on the cause of this. Media quickly jumped on it, and media said that it is because of women who are evading the responsibility. So according to some media houses, the job of women is to accept the responsibility. And what is that responsibility? That is the responsibility to get marriage, because the media are telling such women gamophobia, they are afraid of marriage, and tocophobia, that they are afraid of pregnancy. So according to some media houses, it is the responsibility of women to produce kids. If they are not willing to produce kids, that means they are evading the responsibility. Okay, that is the take of media houses. Now author asks the question that the real question is, what has happened to these women? Have they lost their faith in the institution of marriage? Or as the media perpetuates, are they in fact gamophobic or tocophobic? And if so, why? Only a detailed, unbiased study can tell. Okay, so why these women are making the decisions of not getting married, that has to be properly investigated. Okay, we cannot jump on the conclusion. And let's assume that we will jump to a conclusion. Let's assume that we are right, that these women are gamophobic and these women are tocophobic. Then still we have to ask that why. Okay, why women are forced to take such a position. Okay, societal laws, appropriate government laws, okay, right or no. Okay, so now, तो यहाँ तक जो है ऑथर ने क्या किया कि सबसे पहले आपको एक फैक्ट बताया. Okay, फैक्ट बताने के बाद they said कि media is interpreting the cause of the fact in a certain way. Okay, but what is the cause will the real cause will come out only after proper investigation. Okay. Now, the author is saying that I'd like to make a compassionate plea as a single unmarried working woman from Kerala. Okay. Now, the author is disclosing her own marital status, and the author is establishing her own credential. Author is saying that, see, I have not done research, okay, so I don't know why these women are dropping out. Okay, मैंने कोई ऐसा sociological research नहीं किया है, but I am myself a woman and I am from Kerala. Okay, from the Kerala, from the same society where this trend is witnessed. Okay, so being a single woman from Kerala, now here is my take. Okay, so that is what author is saying. Okay, now let's okay, wait, let me adjust it a bit. Okay, now let me see. Okay. For me, it could also be about women making a convenient lifestyle choice. Okay. So those media houses who are just holding women accountable for evading the responsibility, maybe it is not the case of evading the responsibility. Maybe it is making a case of a convenient lifestyle choice. Okay, we all have a right to life. So we all have this right to life. Which article? Okay, so our constitution gives everybody right to life. Okay, article 21, right? Okay, so maybe this is not the case of evading the responsibility. Maybe it is just the case of making a lifestyle choice. That if somebody do not want to lead that life, if somebody want to have more free life, it's their life. Okay. It could also be about women making a convenient lifestyle choice. Over the years, Kerala culture and society have been pioneers in educational front. And thanks to the encouragement and equal opportunity, more women are stepping on the pedestals of higher education and have chosen the workforce. Okay. Now author is trying to reach into the more depth of the region. Okay. तो पहले तो बोल दिया कि ये maybe it can be a lifestyle choice. Okay. But then this answer also begs another question, that if this is a lifestyle choice, why? Okay. Is it because there is something wrong with the institution of marriage? What is the problem? Okay. Why women are making this lifestyle choice? ठीक है. तो यहाँ पर it says that कि since this study was done in Kerala and not in other part of India, so Kerala's society is a bit unique because Kerala have given primacy to education for all. Okay, Kerala have given primacy to gender equity since earlier times. Okay, so author is trying to see that is it because the Kerala gave primacy to women education to all? Okay, is it because of that this trend is visible in Kerala? Okay, so Kerala, so women are getting higher education and they are joining the workforce. Okay, so women are getting education, they are finding the work, now they are financially independent. Okay, so maybe it's because of that independence. Now women do not need a husband just to support her financially. Okay, so maybe now women will seek a husband who she thinks is a good life partner. Okay, in earlier times, women used to find a husband who will support her financially. Now she is capable of supporting herself financially. So now financial thing is not there. Okay, वो तो है, वो मैं खुद देख लूँगी. Whether you are able to act as a proper companion. Okay, the equal companion. Okay, wherein this transition has empowered women. Okay, what transition author is talking about? After this, pedestals of higher education and have chosen the workforce. Wherein this transition has empowered women. This transition means transition of a woman who is dependent, woman who is not educated, woman who is not part of paid workforce. When this woman is making a transition to becoming educated woman, to becoming a woman who is a part of workforce, who is earning. Now when this woman, when the modern woman was making this transition, okay, many attributes this to having caused a dent in the sanctity of marriage. Okay, so many people says that because the women have made this transition from being uneducated to educated, from being not employed, not part of workforce, to being a part of workforce. Okay, so because women have made this transition, many are saying that this trend of women not getting married, not willing to get married, is increasing. Okay, having caused a dent in the sanctity of marriage. Okay, कि women की marriage के sanctity को जो है, it's affecting it. See, idea of marriage is changing in India, and you should expect a question on idea of marriage. ठीक है, यहाँ पर भी इंडिया में मतलब in GS paper 1 idea of marriage पर earlier also UPSC have asked a question. ठीक है, तो again here you can expect a question on idea of marriage कि why idea, like what changes institution of marriage is witnessing, कि इसमें क्या change हो रहा है और क्यों हो रहा है. Okay, we will not discuss it right now. Okay, वहां पर अभी हम लोग नहीं देख रहे, but that's again a important thing, okay, which can be asked. Okay, now let's see okay, why do educated working women choose single life is a question one may ask. Okay, modern women have seen it all. The generations of women who were largely homemaker were wholly dependent on their husband. The ones that followed took to job but also came back to unattended household chores. Okay, so it's saying that the modern women who are now educated, who are now working, they have seen at least two types of women. They have seen women who were completely dependent on their husband, and so they did not have the liberty, they could not move out, or they could not make their own life choices. Okay, because they were financially dependent. Okay, so, and the second women are those women who decided to get educated, or their family educated them, and then they decided to pursue their career. Okay, but when they came back home after office hour, they again had to attend the traditional household duties. कि घर आके फिर से खाना बनाना है, maybe अगर कपड़े हैं तो कपड़े साफ करने हैं, you have to clean the home and do all the chores. Okay, so the modern women have seen these two types of women: the woman who is completely dependent on their husband, and the second woman who are financially independent but they are married, so they are coming back home, and when they are coming back home they have to shoulder the dual responsibility कि financial घर के बाहर जाके पैसे तो कमा के आ गए, अब घर में आके सफाई भी करो, खाना भी बनाओ और ये भी करो. Okay, so now this is this. Okay, so now, okay, Sachit is saying that woman is spending about 7.2 hours average on unpaid family work, right? So modern women have seen these two type of women. Okay, so maybe because of that, modern women now they are deciding that they don't want to be either. They don't want to remain illiterate. They don't want to be financially dependent on somebody, and at the same time they don't want to go and work like anything in office and then again come back and do all the work on their own. Okay, so they frantically shuttled between work and household. Modern women who are financially independent apparently prioritize their well-being more than ever before. Yes, one can say women have changed for better. Okay, so the author is saying that modern women who are financially independent, now they are prioritizing their well-being. Okay, earlier these women were burdened under the social expectations कि ठीक है पैसे कमाने हैं कमा लो, but घर का काम करना पड़ेगा. That was a societal expectation. Okay, now these women, yes, DLS gaming आपका नाम क्या है? DLS gaming, yes, twin obligations, you are right. Okay, so now these women, now that they are financially independent, they are deciding to take care of their own well-being. ठीक है, so author is saying that yes, one can say women have changed for the better. Okay, तो स्टार्ट में कैसे शुरुआत हुआ था? स्टार्ट में शुरू हुआ था women के blaming से, okay, the women were blamed for all these things, ठीक है, for abdicating responsibility and all that. And now the author is saying that one can say women have changed for better. Okay. Now what about men? See the flow. Okay. They have said कि okay, women have changed for better. Okay. अब यहाँ से जो अगला में author link कर रहे हैं कि yes, women have changed for better, but what about men? Have men changed for better? Okay. What about men? How are they tackling this paradigm shift? This paradigm shift, this shift that men, that the women are now getting independent financially, the fact that women are going out, the fact that they are working, okay, how this paradigm shift has affected men, okay. How have they changed? Unfortunately, many of men haven't woken up to this change, and there are those who still feel entitled to be taken care of. Okay. So author says that there are many men who still feel that when their wife will come back home, she will take care of her. Means she will ensure that the food is cooked, or the food is warm when it is being served, or the house is clean, or the clothes are washed. Okay. So these kind of things are all these kind of things are taken care of. So there are many there are many men who feel still empowered, feel entitled. So the sense of entitlement from men hasn't yet gone. Okay. The sense of participation, the sense of collaboration, that still have not came. Okay. तो अभी भी जो है वो वही जो पहले का feeling था कि I have married, now we have somebody to take care. तो जो starting वाला जो first line था, okay, कि when men have everything, then they start searching for wife. Why? They think कि ठीक है, अब हर चीज तो हो गया, now men need somebody to take care of him, so a wife. Okay. So saying कि men have not changed. Okay. Many men are still continued with same. Okay. The blatant comment that dominates the comment box of these news stories on social media are a standing proof of this inherent misogyny and inability to change with the times. Okay. Misogyny means ingrained prejudice against women. Okay. So when the article on these surveys are posted on social media, many men are commenting on it in a bad taste. Okay. So they are holding women responsible, they are calling for less education of women, they are calling for women they are calling that women should not get employed, all kind of things. Okay. So that means men have not yet left their misogynistic feelings. Okay. In marriage, the expectation often weigh heavily on women. Working women are expected to juggle the roles of career woman and homemaker with equal perfection, which leaves women distraught. Now the last line of this para, it's very interesting. A working husband comes home to a cooked meal. A working wife comes home to cook the meal. The problem isn't that women are now independent. It is that men aren't. Okay. So again, the same thing, that the expectation of men have not changed. ठीक है. मतलब इनका तो expectation बदल गया है, females का expectation तो बदल गया है, but male का expectation जो है वो अभी भी वैसा का वैसा ही है. ठीक है. वो उसमें कोई change नहीं आया है. वो अभी भी expect करते हैं कि when they will come back, the food should be cooked. But when woman is coming, they will have to cook the meal. Okay. So this mismatch in expectation, it is this mismatch in expectation where male, according to the author, where male have a responsibility, okay, it is leading to female not willing to get married. Okay. So females are basically, author is making a point that it's not female who are responsible for not getting it, not females wanting to get married. It is the male, it is their known changing habit, it is their known changing values, patriarchal values, which is forcing women to change. Okay. Yes, Sachin, that the patriarchal mindset is still there, and because of that, women, educated women, working women are deciding to go back. Okay. Perhaps the image of a married life no longer appears appealing. Instead, it looks like a lifelong baggage, a constant tussle, especially for women. Okay. Matlab ki again, for female, it looks like, for male, marriage is like you will get somebody who will take care of you. What about female? Okay, so for female, it's like you will get married and then you will get somebody to take care of. Why? Okay, they ask that मैं अपना पैसा खुद कमाती हूँ, I am independent. So why should I be a nanny to somebody? Okay, why should I carry a baggage whole my life? Okay, so that is this. Okay, for many, it no longer serves a secure sanctuary for regions that are considered valid. It is not that women fear marriage, it's that women are finding their voice in their space to navigate life, making peace with choices that give them fulfillment. Okay, so this that now women are making choices. Okay, that's that. Okay, the quintessential understanding that men and women are meant to complement each other, fostering a peaceful and meaningful coexistence is pertinent. Okay, now in the end, okay, yes, Mr. Lavasna, men are looking for a, yes, you are right, not for a better half. Okay, okay, Devag Raja ke liye rani chahiye, right? Okay, so that thing is still there. Now in the conclusion, okay, see the concluding paragraph. Concluding paragraph is very good. In conclusion, author is saying that author agrees with the point of view that men and women are meant to complement each other, fostering a peaceful and meaningful coexistence. Okay, so author agrees that men and women should they should come together as a partner. They should look after each other. Okay, but they should look after each other. It should not be one-way traffic. Okay, marriage is and should be a partnership. Okay, now author is concluding. Now author is putting her own view. Okay, author is not a extreme feminist. Okay, among the feminists also there is a radical feminist. Okay, so the radical feminist says that come what may, they see men as a enemy. Okay, author is not like a radical feminist. Author is batting for the equality in marriage. Author is saying that marriage is and should remain a partnership as long as it is an equal partnership. Okay, that values open communication, mutual respect, and above all, shared responsibility. Okay, so as long as marriage is about equal partnership, as long as marriage is about respecting each other's choices, as long as marriage is about respecting each other's decision, okay, it is fine. Okay, it's a good marriage is a good way to live your life. Okay, but only if it's about equality. Okay, so whether it's a pride or prejudice, the wedding woes in Kerala are a grim reality that needs redress. Okay, again author is saying that कि केरला में जो अभी इस सर्वे का रिजल्ट आया है, that is something which needs a redress. Okay, that is not something which needs a blame game. Okay, now women should not be blamed for the result we are getting in Kerala. Okay, we should go into the deeper thing and then we should find a solution. Okay, so this whole thing, this whole write-up was about how when women are becoming independent financially, how they are able to assert herself, how they are able to stand for themselves. Okay, and how it is affecting an institution called marriage. Okay, and what actions should be taken to address this. Okay, कि author is not against institution of marriage, or should be able to take it. Now, what are the challenges of working women? What are the challenges of working women? Apart from this, in this article we talked about one challenge of working women. ठीक है, एक challenge हम लोग देखें. What are the other challenges of working women? Right, Debarg, right. 1 + 1 = 11, like, right. What are the other challenges of working women? If UPSC will ask you question, they can ask you, I think they will ask you a general question on challenges of working women. ठीक है. Okay, security concerns at workplace, right? Equal pay, Aditi, right? Harassment in workplace, yes, we have Visakha guidelines for that, but still, yes, unfortunately that's happening. Puja, glass ceiling, yes, that won't find it very difficult to break into higher jobs, okay. And then women are compartmentalized into some kind of jobs, okay, like women are good teachers, women are good, say, nurses, okay, that kind of thing. But women are not very good engineers, okay, that kind of thing. Social stereotyping, right, okay, hospitality sector, right, okay. So you should be ready after reading this article, you should be ready for this, that what are the challenges of working women. One of the challenges of working women we have already seen, that they have to do this, okay, ignores that one, okay. Now write it down, okay. So what we are going to do now is we will list down some of the challenges of working women, okay. One of the challenge, of course, is work-life balance, about which we talked, about which the article talked, okay. We will go a bit beyond article and we will try to have a almost comprehensive list, okay. So write down challenges of a working woman. Just make a list, 1, 2, 3, 4. Challenges of a working woman. One is work-life balance, okay. One is work-life balance has professional responsibilities alongside traditional family duties. Work-life balance. Challenge number 1, work-life balance, professional responsibilities along with traditional family duties. Because there are 2 points, okay. Because point number 1, husbands not yet sharing responsibility, okay, husbands not yet sharing responsibility. And number 2, social expectations around household roles. Social expectations around household roles endures, okay. Social expectation around household roles endures. मतलब ऐसा है कि even if a husband want to help, okay, maybe somebody, maybe neighbor, maybe family member of the husband, maybe the family member of the wife itself, okay, they themselves will say, maybe the mother of the wife, she herself will say कि you are making my jamai or my damad work, okay, okay. So this is this, okay. I am repeating this. Number 1 point, work-life balance, okay, work-life balance. Point number 1, professional responsibility alongside traditional family duties. Professional responsibilities alongside traditional family duties because of point number 1, husband not yet sharing the responsibility, husband not yet sharing the responsibility. And number 2, enduring household expectations, enduring social expectations. Number 2, enduring social expectations around household roles, ठीक है. तो अगर हर कोई बोल रहे हैं कि घर का काम करना चाहिए, it becomes very difficult for a common woman to stand out, ठीक है, and then protest, ठीक है. तो of course there will be few women who will find the courage, but generally अगर आसपास सब लोग बोल रहे हैं कि यार खाना बनवा रहे हो, खाना सब्जी कटवा रहे हो अपने हस्बैंड से, या थाली धुलवा रहे हो अपने हस्बैंड से, ऐसे कैसे काम चलेगा, it is your responsibility, okay. So if it is your responsibility, if many people will say that, finally the woman will relent, finally the woman will think कि ठीक है मैं दोनों जगह का काम कर लूँगी, okay. But then that will affect her own mental well-being, okay, or her own development in other fields. Maybe she will come back from office and she will read newspaper, or maybe she will come back from office, she will write something, okay. So those things she will miss if she will again come back and get engaged in all the family works, okay. Again note that it is not the point that doing family job is bad, okay. ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा कि family job bad है, ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा, okay. It's only being said that family job should be a shared responsibility, ठीक है. Family job is an important thing. It can even be a fun, And anyway, even if it is not fun, it is mandatory. Because if you are living in family, the family jobs must be done. But it's just that it should be shared. Okay? Husband, wife must share the responsibility. Okay, that's the first one. Second point, okay, first point was work-life balance, challenges of working women. Number 2, gender bias. Okay, gender bias. Okay, gender bias in hiring, gender bias in promotion, gender bias in a type of job she is expected to do, okay, and pay inequality. Okay, in bracket you can write glass ceiling. Okay, gender bias in hiring, promotion, pay equality. Okay, in bracket you can write everything combined, it's a glass ceiling. Okay, in type of jobs women are doing. Okay, this. Yes, Key and Ka movie, yes, I have seen. Okay, Key and Ka movie, yes, I think I'm missing the name of the actor. Okay, I'm missing name of the actor. What was the name of the actor in Key and Ka movie? Arjun? No. Kareena Kapoor, yes, Arjun, okay. Arjun Kapoor, yes, Mani, yes, Arjun Kapoor, right. Okay. Third is safety concern. Okay. Third one, working women's concern number 3 is safety concern. Okay. So that is unsafe working conditions. Okay. Unsafe working conditions, harassment at workplace. Okay. Unsafe working condition, harassment at workplace. Okay. Karina, yes, Ms. Lavasna, you are right. Okay. Fourth point, access to child care. Okay, you are right, Mr. Lavasna, no need to delete it. You are right. Okay. How women's rights? Okay, in car hospital. Okay, and yes. Okay, in Kolkata we are reading news. Okay, we are just now after just about an hour before I was reading this news. Okay, that's a sad news. Okay. Access to child care. Fourth point, access to child care, which is adequate and unaffordable. Okay, access to child care, which is currently inadequate and unaffordable. So if a woman becomes, it is said that once a married woman becomes mother, then her career is over. Why it is said that? Because it's very difficult for a working woman, for a mother, to join the workforce again, because the child needs the mother's help, but the mother's workforce, the mother's workplace do not have a crutch, do not have a good crutch which is reliable, which is adequate, and which is at the same time affordable. Okay. Yes, Sachin. So poor crutch facility, that is one point. Okay, Mani. Third point was safety concern. Safety concern, unsafe working condition, and harassment at workplace. Okay. So fourth is access to child care, okay, which is inadequate and unaffordable. Fifth, career breaks. Okay. Fifth challenge of a working woman is career break. So maternity leave or caregiving responsibility. Okay. If somebody at home needs care, okay, if some elderly person at home needs care, then it is traditionally accepted that the woman should leave the job and do the caregiving job. Okay. So some more solutions need to be explored. Okay. So career break, maternity leave or caregiving responsibility leads to career breaks, impacting long-term professional growth. Okay. So maternity leave or caregiving responsibilities leads to career breaks, impacting long-term professional growth. Many researchers have proved that when men and women both join the workforce, they are almost equally productive, they have almost equal potential. But after marriage, the woman's career graph starts dropping in general. Okay. So here many people defend it by giving examples, okay, by giving examples of some businesswoman, okay, she is doing very well, okay, so or some movie star that she is doing very well, but these examples are far and few between, ठीक है, लाखों करोड़ों में एक दो को देख करके we cannot assume that it is about society in general, okay, it is not about society in general. So for society in general, maternity leave or caregiving responsibility leads to career breaks, okay, which impacts long-term career progression, okay. And the sixth point is health and well-being, okay. So one of the challenge of working women is health and well-being, physical and mental well-being. That is one of the biggest change, okay. Now another point I'll just talk a bit, okay, I will not dictate it, but tell me what is the changing idea of marriage in India? You must have heard about it, that idea of marriage in India is changing. What is that change? क्या change हो रहा है? मतलब what was the traditional idea of marriage? First, so we should know कि what is the traditional idea of marriage, and then from there we will ask that how that idea of marriage is changing. Okay. Okay, Aditi is saying that, okay, idea of marriage was family, right? More freedom to wife of going to jobs, not just be a housewife. Okay, Ganesh, yes. Okay, traditional woman to serve. Okay, yes, ठीक है. Traditional is woman to serve. That is right. Okay, so traditionally marriage was more of a obligation, right? So traditionally marriage was seen as a sacrament. Okay, marriage was seen as an obligation. Okay, now that idea is changing from marriage as an obligation to marriage as a companionship. Okay, so this idea is changing. Okay, so from marriage as an obligation, from marriage as a sacrament to marriage as a companionship. Okay, that you are going to get married because you want a companion in life. Okay, so it's that. Okay, कि आप मतलब जिंदगी अकेले नहीं जीना है, तो you need someone or you are finding someone, okay, who will help you. Okay, ये हो गया, ठीक है. That's central importance. Marriage is, yes, Miss Lavasna, you are right. Isolated family, no child, yes. Okay, and the new forms of family are also emerging. एक तो idea change हो रहा है, okay, कि marriage as a companionship से, sorry, marriage as a obligation से marriage as a companionship का idea, and the form of family is also changing. Okay, right, nuclear family हो रहा है, single member family हो रहा है, okay, single mother family हो रहा है, okay, so these kind of things, increasing divorce rate हो रहा है, okay, so and increasing divorce rate plus increasing acceptance of divorce, ठीक है, so that is also increasing. Whether it is good or bad is different thing, okay, whether increasing divorce is good or bad, or what steps should be taken, okay, to ensure that the institution of marriage is fixed, to ensure that the marriage become more equal partnership, that's that. Single parent family, bilkul Ganesh, okay. So these are some of the changing ideas, okay. Live-in relationships are giving preference, okay. So these things are the reality now, okay. Similarly, shifting gender roles are also happening, okay. So in urban areas particularly, gender roles are now shifting. As women are getting the control, as women are as women are becoming financially more independent, so with that women are finding their life partner themselves, ठीक है. तो वो जो idea of traditional idea of marriage जो था, where parents or family will search, जो arranged marriage का concept था, that is also changing. Now women are looking the guy themselves, okay, they are looking at the person, whether the person is compatible or not, whether she will be able to live with the person, whether the person have the desired traits, desired qualities, and then she is getting married, okay. So the change from the arranged marriage to the love marriage is also happening, and at the same time the change in gender role is also happening, okay. Nowadays it is not uncommon that before marriage there is this discussion on gender roles. That शादी से पहले जो मिलते हैं, even in traditional marriage setup, these kind of questions are being asked. Okay, कि घर में खाना कौन बनाएगा? Okay, तो are you going to hire a maid to cook, or do you expect me to cook? Okay, who will take care of the clothes? Okay, who will going to do this cleaning duty? ये कौन करने वाला है? Are we going to share the responsibility, or are we going to hire somebody? Okay, these kind of discussions are now commonplace, and that is a welcome discussion. Okay, because again that will ensure that the working women are not doubly burdened. Okay, ये है. Okay, then legal changes are also happening. Okay, Pooja is saying marrying for love rather than for financial burden sharing, right? Okay, the legal changes are also happening. Okay, all these things is also possible because law has also changed. Okay, now law on divorce have been relaxed. Okay, like say triple talaq wala law, dowry act. Okay, child marriage act. Okay, the delayed marriage is now a norm. Okay, so people are now marrying late, both male and female. It's not many years before. Okay, 1/3 of marriages in India used to be a child marriage. Okay, if you will go back in time, 10 साल और पीछे चले जाएं, तो child marriage was about 40% of marriage in India was child marriage. Even now in some states like Rajasthan, okay, child marriage is very much prevalent. Okay, while it is declining, okay, there is no doubt in this that child marriage is declining. Okay, so delayed age of marriage is also impacting marriage as an institution. ठीक है, because पहले जब बचपन में शादी हो गई तो women did not used to be exposed to the world. ठीक है, उनको पहले पता ही नहीं होता था, बचपन में शादी हो गई. Now she is learned. Okay, she has seen the world, she has worked in offices, so she know how life works. Okay, so now she can take care of herself. Okay, and she knows the tricks. Okay, so she can understand. Okay, if a male will try to play the trick, woman will understand it, because now woman is also matured. She has also been exposed. Okay, so these things are, and all these things are also possible because, as we were discussing, that law is changing. Okay, and then changing mode of matchmaking. That's what we were discussing just now. That matchmaking का जो mode है, that has changed. Okay, and it has implications for society. Okay, one of the reason caste system prevailed was because in caste system mainly the marriages was fixed by the society. Okay, family and society, and marriages were mostly within the same caste. Okay, so so there was this concept of getting married within the same caste. So caste system also prevailed because the arranged marriage system was prevailing. Now that arranged marriage system is giving way to love marriage system. Okay, now that intercaste marriages are not that uncommon. Okay, so maybe interreligious marriages are also, even now it is not that ubiquitous. Okay, but still interreligious marriages are also happening, even though society is opposing it. Okay, but still it's happening. So these things will have ramifications. Okay, society may change in times to come. Okay, yes, Ganesh, you are right. Interracial marriages, intercaste marriages, these are still considered as taboo, but still it is changing. Okay, so there is no doubt in this कि अभी भी जो है वो change हो रहा है. Okay, so this, okay, and then use of technology to find partners. Okay, so earlier normally people from the same, if not same caste, at least people from the same region used to get married. ठीक है, कि अगर कोई बिहार से है तो बिहार के लोगों का शादी बिहार में ही होता था. इवन इफ अगर कास्ट इधर उधर भी हो गया तो भी बिहार में हो रहा है. नॉर्थ बिहार का है नॉर्थ बिहार में, साउथ बिहार का है साउथ बिहार, बंगाल का है बंगाल में शादी हो रहा है, तमिलनाडु का है तमिल में शादी हो रहा है. Okay, but now because of dating sites, now because of technology, because of social media, because of matrimonial sites, okay, so now these things are changing. Okay, so now people are more looking at other parameters. They are looking at parameters other than only money, caste, and these things. Okay. So now maybe a doctor is looking for a doctor, for example. So he or she can find a doctor from Tamil Nadu. If she is in Delhi, she can find a doctor from Tamil Nadu. Okay. So these kind of things are now a reality. Maybe in times to come, if these trends will pick up more, the whole institution will change. Okay. So changing marriage has potential to change the society itself. Okay. So that's that. Okay. So this was that. Okay. Now, so this was article on social issues. Okay. Where we talked about women. Okay. Their changing preferences. Okay. And now we are going to see this. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at this. Okay. Now we are moving towards the second topic. Okay. Before moving towards the second topic, tell me, everybody got the idea? Okay. You got the essence of this article, being single and happy. Now if you will have to write an answer, okay, on impact of work, on challenges being faced by working women, or why marriage is changing. Now you will have at least some points to write, right? ठीक है, कुछ पॉइंट्स तो आपके पास होंगे जो कि आप वुमेन इश्यूज पर लिख सकते हो, या चेंजिंग आइडिया ऑफ मैरिज पर लिख सकते हो, या इम्पैक्ट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी ऑन मैरिज, ग्लोबलाइजेशन ऑन मैरिज. ओके, सो पीपल आर गिविंग मोर दिस. ओके ओके, डेमो क्वेश्चन. ओके ओके, मनी. ओके, बैलेंसिंग कंपटीशन वाला टॉपिक. ओके, एनीवे आई एम okay, I planned to discuss second wala, middle income trap wala. Okay, I am writing my phone number. Okay, okay, so in case you want to discuss about other articles, which if I will not be talking here, okay, because of lack of time, so just go through the articles. If you find any problem, just drop me a message. Okay, balancing competition topic. Okay, balancing competition topic we will discuss. Okay, no problem. So now let's start with this. Okay, what will it take us to address the middle income trap? Before starting to read this topic, do you know any of your friend, or maybe some of you yourself might have felt that when you are getting very low marks, like say out of 100, when you are getting 20-25 marks, it's easy to increase your marks to say 60 marks or 70 marks. Okay, so 20 marks से 70 marks का journey जो है, it's relatively easy. You have done it. But now increasing from 70 to say 90, that is difficult job. Okay, you will feel it in prelims also. When you will start giving prelims test series, you will again feel that, okay, it's relatively easy to increase your marks initially, but once you are getting 75, 80, 90 marks, breaking into hundreds is difficult. Okay, why this happens? Anybody would like to comment? ऐसा क्यों होता है कि आप जब बहुत कम मार्क्स आ रहा है, तो आप वहां से 60-70 मार्क्स पर पहुंच जाते हो, but from there increasing your marks to 90 or 100, that is difficult. Why is that? ऐसा क्यों होता है? You must have felt it. Okay, maybe not in exam, maybe in say running में. If you are a athlete, तो शुरू में you will improve yourself, but then after some point you hit a dead block. अब इससे ऊपर increase करना जो है, it becomes very difficult. Okay, why is that? Okay, think about that. Okay, okay, Mani is saying more technique, innovation is needed. Okay, Mr. Lavasna is saying that sometimes questions are deliberately made diabolical. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, so this topic is about the what will it take to address the middle income trap. Okay, so first we will see ki what do we mean by middle income trap, and then the questions, the article is ki what will it take, okay, to address the middle income trap. ठीक है, middle income trap जो है इसको address हम कैसे कर सकते हैं. Anybody would like to guess what is middle income trap? Okay, Sachin is saying repetitive same thing without, goes for new one. Okay, tough evaluation. Okay, sometimes, okay, ठीक है, okay. We cannot compete with much more marshaled writings. Enrichment required as also not focusing on improving. Okay, ठीक है, Debark. Okay, tell me this. Okay, what will it take us to address the middle? What do we mean by middle income trap? Before we start reading, just we get saturated. Yes, Ganesh, that's one very valid point. That after some point you get saturated, and if we combine it with the point given by money, that now you want more technique. Okay, now it needs more. Okay, so let's start reading. What will it take to address the middle income trap? Okay, so the middle income trap is a pressing concern for India as it strives to become a developed nation by 2047. Okay, they have not discussed what is middle income trap. Okay, यहाँ पर कहीं पूरे article में they have not discussed middle income trap. Okay, anybody would like to say, or anybody would like to guess? I want to first say what is middle income. I want to first explain, and then we'll move. Okay, what is middle income trap? So middle income trap is a situation where a low income country breaks into a middle income country. ठीक है, पहले बहुत गरीब देश था, बहुत low income वाला country था. Now it has increased its income and now it is in middle income. Okay, but after middle income, okay, after arriving at middle income range, ठीक है, it becomes very difficult to break into the higher income range. ठीक है, तो लोअर इनकम से हायर इनकम तक का जर्नी था, बट हुआ क्या कि लोअर इनकम से मिडिल इनकम तक आ गए और आफ्टर मिडिल इनकम वो नहीं बढ़ रहा है. ठीक है, मिडिल इनकम आने के बाद एक स्टैग्नेशन आ गया, यहाँ से बढ़ ही नहीं पा रहे. ओके, सो यस, सो इंडिया इज फेसिंग दैट. ओके, okay, so now we'll see about, yes, able to lift from low income to middle income but not able to lift to high income. That's right. Okay, so now we'll start reading it. Okay, the middle income trap is a pressing concern for India as it strives to become a developed nation by 2047. This economic phenomena where a country experiences stagnation after reaching middle income status poses a significant challenge to Indian ambition. Okay, if India wants to grow, then India will have to break the middle income trap, because it seems that we are caught in the middle income trap. As long as we are caught in the middle income trap, we cannot become developed, because developed का मतलब बस GDP से नहीं है. Okay, when we will talk about developed, the another point we'll have to see is also GDP per capita. Okay, and then of course other things, okay, sustainability and all other things. Okay, so where income transition, yes, you are right. So Niti Aayog have said something. Okay, so Niti Aayog, the government think tank, emphasizes the importance of sustained high growth rate to break free from this trap. Okay, it envisions a Viksit Bharat where India's per capita income reaches levels compared to high income countries, requiring a 9-fold increase in GDP and an 8-fold rise in per capita income over the coming decades. Okay, so Niti Aayog says that if India has to break the middle income trap, the only way is to have a sustained economic growth. Okay, unless India will have a sustained economic growth, it's not going to happen. क्यों नहीं? Because unless India will have a sustained economic growth, if India have to be developed, one, GDP बढ़ना चाहिए, and Niti Aayog is saying that GDP of India should increase its GDP by 9-fold. Okay, India's GDP should become 9x, and then India's per capita income should become 8x. Okay, and now the question will be that how that will happen. ठीक है, ये growth कैसे होगा? Recent discussions around the middle income trap have been fueled by World Bank study that highlights the daunting timeline emerging economies like India face if they continue on their current path. The World Bank's 2024 World Development Report paints a grim picture, suggesting it could take India 75 years, okay, to reach just a quarter of the US per capita income if significant policy shifts are not made. Okay. So World Bank came up with something. World Bank came up with a report which says that if India will continue following the policies India is following now, then there is no chance that by 2047 India will become developed. Okay. World Bank is saying that if India will continue following this policy, then it will take India 75 years to reach just a quarter of USA's per capita income. Okay. Currently, India's per capita income at 2011, matlab at a constant price in terms of dollar, India ka per capita income is about 2300. ठीक है, 2300, 2400, depending on what data set you are referring to. So currently India's per capita income is $2300, ठीक है, per annum. Okay. And USA का per capita income क्या है? Anybody would like to guess? India का per capita income इतना है, ठीक है, $2300. And if we want to be developed, we have to become comparable to other developed countries. Okay. So what is USA का per capita income? We are talking about constant dollar. Okay, Ganesh, we are talking about at constant price, at 2025 price. Okay. Yes, so it is more than 60,000. It is more than $65,000. Okay. Yes, that's yes. Search this 80,000 वाला जो है, probably it is current price पर. ठीक है, 80,000 वाला, $80,000 is probably current price. Okay. So the real so at the constant price, ठीक है, at 2015 वाला dollar per price, it is about 65,000. Okay. So compare it with India's 2,300. Okay. So from there to 65,000, okay, it's a big path. Okay. And then the World Bank is saying that in 75 years, India will only be able to reach 1/4. Okay. That is only India will able to reach $16,000 per annum. Okay. At the current rate, India will only reach $16,000 in 75 years. Okay. So World Bank is saying that forget it. Okay. Okay. The report proposes a new 3I strategy. Report says that if India actually have to become a Viksit Bharat by 2047, then India will have to follow a 3I strategy. Okay. This 3I strategy, whenever you have to write a answer on how to make India developed or how to make India help break the middle income trap, so there you have to propose this 3I wala. Okay. What is this 3I? The report proposes a new 3I strategy: investment, infusion, and innovation. Okay. Investment, infusion, and innovation. World Bank says that India will have to increase investment. Okay. That's the first thing. Okay. We have to increase investment in increasing the infrastructure. Okay. We have to increase investment in R&D. Okay. We have to increase investment in new technologies. Okay. We have to increase investment in healthcare. We have to increase investment in education. Okay. So if India want to break free of this, we will have to do this. Okay. And the second is 3 strategy. One is investment. Second strategy is infusion. Okay. That is, if India wants to grow, then India will have to infuse technology. Okay. So India cannot remain aloof from technology. We cannot say that we have heavy labor force, so we will go for only labor intensive. Okay. Yes, we have lots of labor force, and those labor force are not very skilled. So we do need the manufacturing, some manufacturing, which will create a bulk job. But at the same time, we cannot say that we will not adopt technology. Unless we adopt technology, we cannot be able to compete with other countries. Okay. So then our economy will not grow. Then we will not be able to break free of this. Okay. So investment, infusion, and innovation. Okay, 3I. This 3I should be there in your notes. जब भी क्वेश्चन आएगा, इंडिया को कैसे डेवलप करने के लिए क्या करना है, ठीक है, या इंडिया को मिडिल इनकम ट्रैप ब्रेक करने के लिए क्या करना है, okay, you can just say that World Bank have suggested a 3I strategy: investment, infusion, and then this innovation. Okay, so India should also innovate. Innovation means India will have to find new solutions. How that will happen? India will have to invest more on research and development. India will have to give more freedom to scientists, more autonomy to institutions. Okay, and will have to create incentives. Okay. The report proposes a new 3I strategy as a way to break free from this economic stagnation. Okay, if India want to break free from this economic stagnation, these things India should adopt. These strategies call for a shift from traditional methods, urging countries like India to embrace advanced technology and foster innovation. Same. Okay. However, the debate on how to achieve this growth is ongoing. ठीक है, कि इतना बार तो ठीक है. Okay. Infusion means infusion of technology. Okay. When we are talking about Ganesh, when we are talking about infusion, we means infusion of technology. ठीक है. So, okay. However, the debate on how to achieve this growth is ongoing. That India should grow 9x, that is well accepted. Okay, even India accepts that India should grow 9x. But how that growth will happen, there is debate on that. Okay, even experts are debating. Okay, what they are debating, how experts are debating. So, okay. However, the debate on how to achieve this growth is ongoing. Former RBI Governor Dronamraju has sparked discussions on whether India should pivot entirely to the service-led economy, given the sector's substantial contribution to GDP. Okay. Meanwhile, World Bank's perspective is more holistic, advocating for a balanced approach that does not pit manufacturing against services, but see both as an essential driver. Okay. So, where India should go, where India should invest, okay, India should invest, but where? Should India invest in service-led growth, or should India invest in manufacturing-led growth? Okay. So, Dronamraju, who was former RBI governor, he seems to suggest that India should focus more on services-led growth, because anyway, services forms more than 50% of India's GDP. Okay. And services are, high-end services are in demand in Western countries. Okay. So, by exporting our services, maybe we will be able to increase our per capita income in a more faster manner. Okay. So, this is Dronamraju's prescription. Okay. World Bank have given a more balanced view. The World Bank is not saying that we should choose one. Okay. World Bank is not saying that कि आप या तो manufacturing select कर लो या services select कर लो. World Bank is saying that we should find a balance. Okay. Because India का population इतना ज़्यादा है, 1.4 billion से ज़्यादा है. Okay. So it's not about picking one. ठीक है. India want manufacturing led growth also, and India want services led growth also. India need to adopt AI also, and at the same time, India also have to create jobs for those who are not so skilled. ठीक है. तो India is in a very typical situation. हमारा जो situation है वो ऐसा नहीं है. We do not have luxury of choosing one. हम एक select करके नहीं बैठ सकते हैं, वो हमारे पास ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. इतनी जनता है, इतनी जनता के लिए हमको जॉब्स लेना है. We have educated graduates who are unemployed. Okay, about कितने % educated graduates unemployed हैं? For those of you who have attended my sessions before, in whenever we talk about employment, unemployment, I quote that number. ग्रेजुएट्स में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट कितना है? कितना है ग्रेजुएट्स में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट कितना है? राइट अदिति, राइट, ओके. Yes, Sachin. Sudden will not be feasible, right? Okay. So India is in a very typical position. Okay. We have graduates, more than 29% graduates are unemployed. Okay, that's one data, ILO का data है ये. Okay. Then we have only 51% population, 51% of the graduates who are employable. ये इस बार का इकोनॉमिक सर्वे बोल रहा है कि हमारे about 48, more than 48% of our people, our graduates are not employable. ठीक है, तो हमारा एक चैलेंज ये भी है. ठीक है, ग्रेजुएट्स अनएम्प्लॉयड है, हमारी ये भी चैलेंज है. हमारा चैलेंज ये भी है कि बहुत सारे अनस्किल्ड लोग अनएम्प्लॉयड है. ठीक है, तो वी नीड डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ जॉब एंड वी नीड दो जॉब्स इन बल्क. ठीक है, हमको हाई एंड जॉब्स भी बल्क में चाहिए और हमको लो स्किल वाले जॉब्स भी बल्क में चाहिए. तो इंडिया कैन नॉट चूज. ठीक है, हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि ये करना है ये नहीं करना है. ठीक है, हमको ये भी करना है. वी हैव टू इन्वेस्ट इन मेकिंग एग्रीकल्चर more value added also. We have to increase agricultural productivity also. We have to increase jobs in manufacturing also, and we have to create high quality jobs in this also. Okay, so this is this. Okay, investment in high tech areas such as semiconductor manufacturing is crucial, as is the infusion of cutting edge technology across the economy. India's recent efforts to attract FDI in these sectors align with the World Bank recommendation. However, the third pillar of the I, innovation, remains a weakest spot. Okay, that India should adopt technology, India should welcome innovation, so, and India should also welcome foreign investment. Okay, author is saying that India is already working on attracting more capital. Okay, so on those things India is on track. But problem कहाँ पर हो रहा है? Problem is happening mainly in innovation front. ठीक है, तो innovation front पर India is still struggling. Okay, and anybody would like to say कि per as a percentage of our GDP, how much we are investing on R&D, research and development, per what percentage we are spending? Okay, yes, less than 1%. So we are spending about 0.7%. Yes, money. Okay, so that is, so our main problem is innovation. ठीक है, कि India is not able to produce technology. India is not able to come up with technology which is world class. ठीक है, we are mostly buying technology from abroad. ठीक है, so by buying technology from abroad we cannot become a world class. ठीक है, if we want to become a world class, we have to have our own path breaking technology. ठीक है, so that thing is missing. Okay, the focus on innovation in India is missing. Okay, recently patents being filed in India have increased. ठीक है, so India's ranking in intellectual indexes, IPR indexes are recently increasing. Okay, but then they are not of very high quality. Okay, इन जो R&D में भी अब हमारा यही प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. पहले हमारा R&D में पब्लिकेशंस बहुत कम था, हमारी R&D में रैंकिंग कम थी. ठीक है, हम लोग पेटेंट कम फाइल करते थे. ओके, नाउ दैट हैज चेंज्ड. ठीक है, नाउ इन फाइलिंग पेटेंट इंडिया इज प्रोबेबली सेकंड और थर्ड नंबर. ठीक है, तो वो सब अब इम्प्रूव हो रहा है. बट नाउ इट इज अबाउट एजुकेशन, नाउ इट इज अबाउट क्वालिटी. ठीक है, जस्ट लाइक स्कूल एजुकेशन. अब स्कूल एजुकेशन में हमारे यहाँ ये दिक्कत नहीं है कि चिल्ड्रंस आर नॉट इनरोल्ड. ठीक है, बच्चे इनरोल्ड है, मोस्टली देयर इज 100% इनरोलमेंट रेट. नाउ चैलेंज इज टू फोल्ड इन एजुकेशन. वन इज we have to retain it, we have to stop the dropout rate, particularly in secondary education, particularly for women, girl child, we have to stop the dropout rate. And the second thing is we have to ensure the quality. Similarly, in research also we have to ensure that the research we are producing is of high quality. When that will happen? That will happen when we will increase our investment in R&D. Okay. So the third pillar of the strategy, innovation remains a weak spot. What has India made strides? While India has made strides in digitization, exemplified by the success of UPI, it still lags behind in area like research and development, cutting edge technology like artificial intelligence. ठीक है? So it's not like India have not made a progress. ठीक है? India's UPI is known world over. ठीक है? So globally, many countries are seeking help of India in increasing digitization. ठीक है? So there India have done very well. Okay? But when it comes to cutting edge technologies like artificial intelligence, then we are lagging. ठीक है? So then countries like China, countries like USA are the forebearer. Okay. Now, Dr. Arvind Pangaria, okay, chairman of the 16th Finance Commission of India, will delve into these issues at Adani BT India 100 Forum on August 20. Okay, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. So Dr. Pangaria will talk about these things. Okay. Now the last concluding paragraph, the middle income trap is not insurmountable. Okay. So author have talked about the challenge, author have talked about what World Bank is saying. Okay. And then author is coming up to say that yes, there are challenges, but middle income trap is not insurmountable. Insurmountable का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of this word? Insurmountable. Middle income trap is insurmountable. What is the meaning of insurmountable? Insurmountable क्या है? What does it mean? मतलब it means middle income trap is not something which is impossible to cross. Okay, it can be crossed. Okay, author is trying to say that middle income trap is something which you can of course cross it. Okay, this trap is not such a strong trap that you cannot overcome it. You can overcome it. Okay. Countries like South Korea have successfully transitioned to high income status by adopting robust innovation strategy and integrating advanced technologies. Okay. So South Korea just 40-50 years back, India, South Korea and China were almost at similar level. Okay. In 1960s, per capita income of India, China and South Korea were almost on the same level. ठीक है? China का थोड़ा high था, India was number 2 and South Korea was number 3. Now China and South Korea have taken the lead और इतना आगे हैं कि almost India का per capita income जो है वो China का 1/5 है. ठीक है? So that is the case now. Okay. So if China can break free of the middle income trap, if South Korea can break free of the middle income trap, then why not India? Okay. We can also do that. Okay, we can also overcome it. Okay, yes, Mr. Lavasna, you are right. Okay, okay, but we have to also see that how China or how South Korea broke it. South Korea broke it by adopting robust innovation strategy and integrating advanced technology. Okay, so two things. एक तो South Korea जो है वो innovation पे ध्यान दिया, research and development पर ध्यान दिया. और सेकेंड पॉइंट जो है वो फोकस्ड ऑन इंटीग्रेटिंग एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजीज. ओके, इंडिया मस्ट नाउ डिसाइड हाउ टू इनहेंस इट्स पॉलिसी. ओके, policy approach, particularly in research and development, to ensure that it does not merely follow but lead on the global stage. Okay. So now is the time for India. Now author is giving the prescription and the warning also. Author is saying that देख भाई अब टाइम आ गया है कि अब हम फॉलोअर बनना छोड़ें, अब हम ये काम करना बंद करें कि टेक्नोलॉजी यूएसए वाला खोलेगा, ये डेवलप करेगा. इनफैक्ट इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट इज दैट कि यूएस में भी जो टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप कर रहे हैं दे आर इंडियंस. ओके, तो इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स आर नाउ गोइंग टू यूएस, दे आर डूइंग पीएचडी देयर. So Indian professors are in bulk in prestigious US universities. Okay, so Indian people are developing technologies in USA, and then India is buying that technology from USA. Okay, so by buying technology you cannot become a leader. Okay, बस टेक्नोलॉजी खरीद के आप वर्ल्ड लीडर नहीं हो सकते हो, बिकॉज क्योंकि वो कोई आपको कटिंग एज टेक्नोलॉजी थोड़ी बेचेगा, वो तो आपको वो टेक्नोलॉजी बेचेगा जो जिसका उसको काम हो चुका है और उसको पता है कि दे हैव मोर एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी, वही बेचेगा. ठीक है, तो ऑथर सेज दैट द टाइम हैज कम फॉर इंडिया, okay, to ensure that it does not merely follow but lead on the global stage. Niti Aayog's vision of a Viksit Bharat hinges on India's ability to sustain high growth rate and embrace innovation at an unprecedented scale, steering the nation clear of middle income trap and towards a prosperous future. Okay. So the ultimately, ठीक है, इतना पूरा आर्टिकल था, but the ultimate take away for you is कि if India have to break the middle income trap, India will have to invest on innovation, okay, R&D, and India will have to invest on adopting the technology. ठीक है, ये दो काम करना ही पड़ेगा. Apart from that, India will also have to invest on human capital. ठीक है, तो अगर इंडिया को ये मिडिल इनकम ट्रैप ब्रेक करना है तो ये सब काम करना पड़ेगा. Okay, now see, even if the question is how to make India developed, what steps India should take to become Viksit Bharat, ठीक है, या why Indian manufacturing is not able to add value, ठीक है, why India is still, why export from India is not high value added export. तो इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन या इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन जब भी मेंस में आएगा तो यू विल हैव दीज पॉइंट्स. ठीक है, कि इंडिया विल हैव टू डू दीज थिंग्स. ह्यूमन कैपिटल में खर्चा करो. Okay, in human capital index of World Bank we are beyond 100. ठीक है, तो उसको ठीक करो. Okay, उसके बाद टेक्नोलॉजी में टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट करो. Okay, एंड आफ्टर दैट जो है वो R&D में इन्वेस्ट करो. Okay, मेक इंस्टीट्यूशंस मोर ऑटोनोमस. ठीक है, रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट कैन नॉट हैपन विदाउट फ्रीडम. ठीक है, टुडे ओनली यू हैव सीन वन आर्टिकल कि फ्रीडम पर रेस्ट्रिक्शन लगना चाहिए. ओके, सो देयर मतलब देयर शुड बी अ रेस्ट्रिक्शन ऑन फ्रीडम. कंप्लीट फ्रीडम जो होगा दैट विल बी अ chaos. ओके, but measured freedom is very important for R&D also, because the thing is research and development will happen only if a junior can tell to the senior that what you are doing is wrong. ठीक है, रिसर्च में R&D में कोई सीनियर जूनियर नहीं होता है या कोई हायरार्की नहीं होता है. ठीक है, तो इफ यू आर टीचर एंड इफ से आई एम इफ से यू आर स्टूडेंट एंड इफ आई एम टीचर and if I am making a mistake, then you should have the freedom to say that I made a mistake. Okay, and you should have the freedom to suggest a improvement कि भाई ये वाला गलत था, ऐसे कर लो, ये सही होगा. Okay, you should not feel the repercussion for that. अगर आप मुझे ऐसा बोलते हो and then if I will take action against you, so that in such a scenario where there is a strong hierarchy, where the seniors cannot be criticized, in such a scenario, in such a ecosystem जो है वो research and development cannot happen, because research and development makes the progress by inculcating the attitude of questioning. ठीक है, जितना questioning होगा उतना research and development होगा. ठीक है, तो in our institutions we have to change it. ठीक है, in our society we have to change it. बच्चा जब बड़ा हो रहा है उस समय जब बच्चा क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है तो अगर आप उसको सटअप बोलोगे, अगर आप बच्चे को मुंह बंद करवा दोगे तो स्लोली द किड विल थिंक दैट इज द वे टू लिव इन द सोसाइटी. ओके, तो स्लोली द किड विल फॉल इन द लाइन. ठीक है, स्लोली द किड विल स्टॉप आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस. ओके, एंड इफ किड इन द स्कूल्स विल स्टॉप आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस, देन द सेम किड विल गो टू कॉलेजेस. ठीक है, द सेम किड विल बिकम साइंटिस्ट. ओके, तो if the kid has learned that कि क्वेश्चन पूछने से मना किया जाएगा या क्वेश्चन पूछने पर पनिशमेंट मिलेगा, तो फिर the kid will stop asking questions. Okay, so if we want to be Viksit Bharat, we have to also improve our society. Okay, we have to encourage this question asking ability. Okay, this thing. Okay, if you will do that, then India will become independent, will become developed. Okay, so here you already know what is this middle income trap. Okay, और middle income trap क्यों होता है? तो mainly middle income trap happens because inability to increase production beyond a certain level. ठीक है, अगर आप प्रोडक्टिविटी नहीं बढ़ाओगे, अगर आप प्रोडक्टिविटी एक लेवल के बाद स्टैग्नेट हो गया, तो फिर वो मिडिल इनकम ट्रैप हो जाएगा. ठीक है, वन इंटरेस्टिंग रीजन ऑफ मिडिल इनकम ट्रैप इज कि when you were poor, okay, when a country is poor, then wages in a country is also less. ठीक है, सस्ता wages है, nobody have job, so anybody is willing to do any job. Okay, in general wages are low. Okay, we saw the case of China, we are seeing it in India. Okay, कि wages low होते हैं. ठीक है, because lack of jobs. ठीक है, so when wages are low, then the country's products are more cost competitive in external market. है कि नहीं? Particularly those products which are produced by intensive labor. Okay, so products like textile. ठीक है, तो टेक्सटाइल जो है वो ज़्यादा कॉस्ट competitive होगा एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट में, इंडियन टेक्सटाइल, when the wages are low. Okay, but the moment income will increase, the moment income will increase from low income to the middle income, wages will also increase. ठीक है, अब लोगों के पास थोड़ा पैसा है, now they will ask more wages. The problem is, the moment people will start asking for more wages, and if this increase in wage is not going side by side with increasing productivity. ठीक है, अगर वेज बढ़ रहा है और प्रोडक्टिविटी इंक्रीज नहीं होता है, ठीक है, तो अगर प्रोडक्टिविटी इंक्रीज नहीं होगा, वेज बढ़ जाएगा, तो व्हाट विल हैपन टू द एक्सपोर्ट कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस ऑफ प्रोडक्ट? If wages will increase but productivity of the labor will not increase, so what will happen to the export competitiveness? Okay, so export competitiveness will decrease. Okay, so that means that the moment a country which was export competitive when the country was poor, when the same country became middle income country, now their low income वाला जो high labor intensive products जो है, that becomes less competitive in the global market. ठीक है, if that became less competitive, now this country will have to capture the market of high end products. है कि नहीं? Now you have to move, now you have to make a transition, and now you have to be known in global market for your high end products. ठीक है, or you have to increase your productivity. Okay, how that will happen? Unless you will invest in R&D, unless you will invest in innovation, you will not be able to compete with developed economy in high end वाला. ठीक है, तो अगर आप मिडिल इनकम पर आ गए हो, तो आप लेबर इंटेंसिव वाले पर आपको जो अभी लो इनकम कंट्री है वो आपको पीछे छोड़ देगा. ठीक है, आप मिडिल इनकम वाले हो, इफ यू विल ट्राई टू मेक हाईटेक प्रोडक्ट्स, तो अगर आपके पास टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है, तो एक तो आप हाईटेक प्रोडक्ट्स बना नहीं पाओगे. अगर आप हाईटेक प्रोडक्ट्स बनाओगे तो बहुत कॉस्टली बनाओगे, तो यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू कम्पीट विथ यूएसए, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू कम्पीट विथ यूके, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू कम्पीट विथ चाइना. ठीक है, तो मिडिल इनकम ट्रैप यही है कि आप मिडिल इनकम हो गए तो जो लेबर इंटेंसिव प्रोडक्ट है उसमें भी आपका कम्पिटिटिवनेस खत्म हो गया, और जो हाई एंड प्रोडक्ट्स है उसमें आप डेवलप्ड कंट्री से कम्पीट नहीं कर पा रहे हो. ठीक है, बिकॉज आपके पास टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है. ठीक है, तो फिर आप कहीं के नहीं रहे, यू बिकेम स्टैग्नेंट. और इससे डील करने का वही है कि या तो फिर से गरीब हो जाओ. ठीक है, तो दैट्स वन सॉल्यूशन कि आपको मिडिल इनकम ट्रैप से निकलना है तो नीचे गिर जाओ, गरीब हो जाओ. दूसरा सॉल्यूशन यही है कि मेक योर सेल्फ मोर प्रोडक्टिव. ओके, मेक योर सेल्फ मोर, अडॉप्ट मोर टेक्नोलॉजी, विल डू दैट. ठीक है, तो अगर आपके नोट्स में ये बस इतना 2 लाइन का लिखा हुआ है, यू विल बी एबल टू डू दैट. ठीक है, तो दैट वाज टुडेज आर्टिकल. समझ में आ गया? ये इसका क्रक्स समझ में आया लोगों को? एनीबॉडी हु कुड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड द क्रक्स ऑफ द आर्टिकल? Okay, right. ठीक है. Okay, and yes, understood. Okay, Pooja, and okay, and any feedback you have, any feedback you have for the session which I am conducting. Okay, the reading session is being conducted in two parts, right? So Shabbir sir is taking some part, and one or two articles I am taking. Okay, so any feedback you have taken, you have for me. So feel free, okay? Feel free, because as we said that if you cannot give feedbacks, then the country cannot grow. ठीक है? तो country को grow करने के लिए, overall ecosystem को improve करने के लिए, hierarchy must not be respected. ठीक है? In knowledge world hierarchy काम नहीं करता है. Knowledge world में जो है वो logic काम करता है. तो it is quite possible that, okay, it is quite possible that sometime your logic will be better than mine. ठीक है? That's completely possible. ठीक है? So always feel free to give me feedbacks. ठीक है? Whenever जब भी आपको लगता है कि ये एकदम ऊपर से निकल गया, बिल्कुल समझ में नहीं आया, just say so कि कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. ठीक है? आज का आर्टिकल कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. Feel free to say it. Okay. Okay, Anu. So Anu is saying that she is getting it all right. Okay then. So see you guys again. Okay. फिर से next Saturday. Okay, we will have another 4 articles. Okay. और आप लोग का in general आप लोग का पढ़ाई लिखाई कैसा चल रहा है? How is your preparation moving? How many of you have already given one attempt? Every one of you will be giving your first attempt in next year, or anybody who is okay given in 2024? Okay, Anu. Ganesh will be giving in 2025. Okay, Sheikh. Okay. Okay, Rex. First time 2025 में. Anybody who have already given an attempt apart from Manu? Okay, Anu. Okay, Anu got 83. Okay, Anu. So that means if you will push a bit, you are there. Okay. No problem. It's okay. ठीक है, Anu. Now you have to plan. Okay. You already have. Everybody have my phone number, right? All of you have my phone number. So feel free to drop a message. Don't call in the first instance. ठीक है? सीधे phone नहीं करना है, because that number will be unknown for you, for me, and I may be busy in something. I may not be able to pick up. ठीक है? If you want to discuss your preparation, just drop a message, okay, and then we can find a time. Okay. So Anu, it's okay. ठीक है? Just try to find out कि पीछे कहाँ क्या दिक्कत रह गया, कौन सा किस टाइप का गलती हुआ, and then we'll have to plan for mains and prelims both. अभी के स्टेज पर अनु, particularly those who have written this year's prelims and could not clear it, तो अभी के स्टेज पर you have to also perfect your prelims and mains both. ठीक है? Anu, just drop me a message and we can discuss. Certainly we can discuss. No problem. Okay, we can discuss. Okay, and those of you for whom 2025 will be the first attempt, the basic चीज ये है कि understand that you have to focus more on, मतलब static portion जो है, that is your core. ठीक है? Preparation में this is static is the core, and then current affairs is this. Current affairs is value added. This is current affairs. Okay. Core is static. So it does not mean that current affairs is not important. ठीक है? Current affairs is very, very important. ठीक है? Without current affairs, you will not be able to differentiate yourself. Mains में सबके आंसर एक ही जैसे लगेंगे अगर कोई current affairs नहीं देखेगा तो. ठीक है? Your examples, your data, your committee name, ठीक है? तो the type of language you are writing, okay, those things will differentiate you. ठीक है? but before getting differentiated आपके पास एक basic content होना चाहिए. Okay, so that comes from static. Similarly in prelims also, ठीक है, तो prelims में भी जो है वो पहले आपका basic जो core content है that उस पर बहुत अच्छा command होना चाहिए, and then this current affairs will help you get the escape velocity. ठीक है, so that's that. Don't make mistake of investing 4-5 hours daily on current affairs. ठीक है, current affairs must be respected, ठीक है, but must not be over respected. ठीक है, तो this is very important. आपका अगर static important होगा, static अगर कब्जे में रहेगा, तो you will have next level of confidence. ठीक है, चलो, bye bye. Yes, Ganesh, yes. 11.2 kilometer per second escape velocity. Get it? Okay. Okay. So I think, what is the formula for escape velocity? Okay, escape velocity का formula क्या है? You have to make gravitation को जो है, you will have to, what will be the formula? I think formula will be okay. G okay will be equal to mv square by r. So I think am I right? Is this the formula? Okay, Ganesh. Okay, so I think this is the formula. Okay, I think so. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, let's done with. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, Mission Lavasna is saying, okay, like the small concept-based topics of economy. Okay, Lavasna, I will continue doing this. ठीक है, I'll continue bringing the thematic articles which deals with one topic और एक फंडा एक बार में clear हो गया. Okay, that's good. Okay, ठीक है, bye bye, all the best. ठीक है. Okay, bye everybody who are watching on YouTube. Bye bye.